Because of the weird way that YouTube has changed things around.
Yeah.
We are now live.
We are live and in living color. Wait a second.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I mean, no. I mean, yeah, technically.
We are, yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. Let me go to
live from New York. It's Saturday night.
Let me
I mean, kinda. It's not New York and it's not night.
No, it's
Saturday
actually
part, right?
Isn't right. Actually,
got the Saturday part, right?
Yeah, it is Saturday. It's just not Saturday. Well, it's night somewhere, right?
Somewhere, hey. But wouldn't it be Friday night? Whatever. Not the point. Hold
up. Let me share the link.
So much of the inspiration flying, floating around. So much. My only regret about this current moment, with all the inspiration flying around, is that I do not have the time to capitalize.
Nobody does, unless you were
ridiculous.
independently wealthy,
right?
And even then, you might not have.
Right.
It is what it is with it.
I just feel pulled in so many different directions just right now with writing, and I can't possibly. Oh, let me be a ring announcer.
A ring announcer? Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I got you. I got you. Heel turn. I got you. Maybe not so much ring announcer, but
manager?
What was Jim Ross in them? Like
oh, that's what commentary.
Yeah, commentary. Be the commentary. Yeah.
Word. Facts. Facts.
Be the commentary. Be the commentary. That would work. Oh my God, it's got a chair. Oh my God, it's got a chair.
Oh man.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, this is perfect.
What's perfect?
I happened to stumble across this post that like agrees with me.
Oh, well, it's a lot of that going around.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna need it for the show.
Right.
I had never seen. Oh, it's from Anonymous. That's even better because it's a reputable. Well, reputable isn't the word I'm looking for, even though they are, but it's a well-known entity, not just some person on Twitter saying what they feel. But sadly, this means I have to open another tab for Facebook because I don't want to lose it. And Facebook be trash.
Facebook beat. Yo, I was just talking about that earlier. Listen to me, man. I got notifications for messages that don't appear.
Bruh.
I got notifications for engagement, motherfuckers like shit or whatever, that don't show up. It is a hot mess over there on Facebook right now. They had to push this shit through, man.
I'm now getting notifications for reactions
that you don't see anywhere.
I don't fucking want notifications for reactions. Like, I want comments, sure, comments, shares, whatever, but reactions, no, I don't need to be notified outside of Facebook that somebody liked my post. Like,
right.
I'm not a like whore. All right. I'm trying to get to these goddamn pages. There we go.
Yo, this shit, and they just had to push it through. Like, now, in the interest of fairness, I will say that I have zero.
Oh, you did it already.
What's that?
Oh no, wait,
I shared
me. No, no, hold on.
But yeah, in the interest of fairness, right? I have never ran a social media platform that has the amount of engagement and people on it. I'm sure the coding must be a motherfucker, right?
Sure. But
however,
I would like to counter that by saying that even in my small company, the things that we have coded, we are able to break them up into teams
Right.
So with the resources that Facebook has, I'm not giving them that excuse.
Yo, that's exactly what I was about to say. However,
y'all got
the money. Y'all can
Mark
literally
Zuckerberg is one of the richest men in the world.
Yo, he could literally have an entire building of people that only focus on bug smashing. That's all they do.
Mark Zuckerberg is one of the richest men in the world, and Facebook's money, all of it doesn't come from him. So
yeah,
they
got ad revenue up the ass.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a lot of shit, a lot of resources that these motherfuckers have. So it's really no excuse.
None
is no excuse at all. Not at all. That shit is a buggy hot mess.
Mm-hmm.
Buggy hot mess. So has everything been shared the way need to be shared?
Okay. I'm hitting up the multi-world page now.
Bet.
And come on, you can do it. You can do it.
You can do it.
All right. And now share now. Boom. All right. The sharing is caring and has been completed.
Good.
Where we at?
Okay. We have a few people watching. Well, like 3 people, looks like, watching.
Fuck y'all doing? What up?
What up?
We're
about to get started here in a minute.
Actually, I can make this full screen. I can close these two.
Yo, I know this has had to have happened numerous times, and I just don't know about it, right? But I got a comment on a video on my artist YouTube channel, and where it got something. I've been looking for this channel for years. And then he mentioned something to the effect that I guess when you changed it from Rational Warrior to Tombstone the Dead Man, kind of got, I guess he got confused, whatever. So I know that's happened a lot. I can't put my finger on the analytics of it because there's no way to track it, but I am fairly certain that there are a lot of people who, because my music is floating around out here, and some people that have taken my songs and put them all on YouTube, right? They attribute it to Rational Warrior, not Tombstone the Dead Man. So if people hear the song, they go, I need to find this dude. But now my channel I still don't regret doing it. I still think it was the best thing I should have done. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, that was absolutely the move.
Yeah, it was the move. Like I said, I told you, I even saw an uptick in stream money from that because everything's consolidated on one page. The people that are looking for those songs find those songs there.
Right.
So it goes to the analytics of that one channel.
I want people looking for my songs.
I looked for one of your songs the other day.
That's not okay. You're one. You're a people. You're a people. I want several people, multiple people, multitude of people, a conglomerate of people.
It takes time.
A cornucopia. Oh no, I'm not rushing.
It takes time.
I'm just stating a desire.
And I'm gonna tell you, kind of like part of what I wanted to get off my chest early in the show has to do with that, because say you get a deluge of people now, they might not be the same people that's around.
Oh no, 1,000%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 1,000%.
I've seen
shit. I know that from you.
Yeah. And because as you change as an artist and as you evolve your style, everybody's not going to be able to keep up, or everybody's not going to find it audibly appealing to them anymore, or whatever it was they was into you for before. You're no longer there in that same space, so you no longer feed their need. So they move on with your old music. They probably still play your old music and all that, but they don't really engage.
As long as they play it on Spotify or Apple Music,
Facts. At least I can get paid for that shit. Right? It's such as it is and shit.
Facts.
Such as it is.
All right. And we are recording.
Awesome. Let's get this started.
Ging.
Ass.
Ah, my bad.
Welcome everyone to the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man SPJ. And I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and we are just a couple of geeks talking about pop culture from a black perspective. Facts indeed. Now listen.
Ding.
We have, of course, our usual bevy of stories that we want to comment on and all of that. Yep. But before we get into that,
hey, Cap's got to teach stuff.
All right. You want to really know what grinds my gears? Well, let me give you some numbers first so I can contextualize what I'm about to say next and to quote from that 150 Cent song that he had to be, they ain't gonna like you. All right. That's cool. So if you go to my personal Facebook page right now,
I refuse,
and look at my friends list, you will see about 1,400 people, right? On that friends list.
Out here in these streets.
All right. On my artist page, a little over 2,300 people, right? If you go to the Dead Man, Tombstone the Dead Man YouTube channel, you'll see almost 16,000 people. It fluctuates. It hits 16, goes a little over, then it comes down and it goes back. It's one of those things. Now, all of these places combined, you'll find on my Reverb Nation page, which combines all of these platforms, and get a rough estimate of about 19,878 fans.
Times 10.
Well, according to Graydon, yeah, that's what he thinks. It's bigger than that because there are other platforms where people listen to you. That
I'm fairly certain. Yeah.
And that's probably true, right? So
you got fans, basically.
You do realize, right, that I've been doing this YouTube shit and this content creating shit since at least 2011. At least 2000. I would actually go back. No, 2007. That's when I started on YouTube, around 2007, right? And if you go to my Reaper Legion Network channel, you'll see just a myriad of different content themes, from traveling, science series, wildlife series, game reviews, movie reviews, even inspirational videos where I'm just passing on some life experience to people, right? And then, of course, when I was really heavy on that, because I'm not as much now, but when I was really heavy on that, I would share my shit to my Facebook page. The engagement I would get there is not comparable to the amount of fans I have.
Thanks.
But for those of you that have engaged with that content, for those of you that always comment, for those of you that look forward to the next thing I'm going to do and have really followed what I've been doing content-wise all these years, I appreciate you. Don't think that I don't.
Thanks.
I absolutely do. But I'm not talking about y'all right now. I'm talking about the ones of them who only seem to engage with me when they want to dispute something that I said that they disagree with in a post. Many times strawmanning the fuck out of what I'm saying or adding things to it that isn't being said. Where was this energy for all that other content?
Didn't exist.
These same people that say, "Oh no, I was a fan. I'm a fan of your music," but can't tell you about songs that I have put out that are years old, that are some of my most has the most plays, the most downloads, the most streams.
Talk your shit.
Look, even if you did not personally like those songs, if you are actually a fan of my content and the shit I do, you would know that, oh yeah, these were some of his more popular songs in his catalog.
Thanks.
Even if you didn't like those individual songs, you would at least acknowledge that because you kept up with me.
Yeah.
So what is this fucking entitlement for the few of you that feel like the only time you need to engage with me is on some simple shit? Is on some shit. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Anybody that knows my content, knows my songs, knows that I am an equal opportunity offender. When it comes to political parties, it is no big secret I don't like politicians. It is no big secret that I think that the whole swag that the United States citizenry has in regards to their relationship with politicians is all off. Your swag's off.
Right.
You're seeing them as authority figures, and you're seeing them as people to be idolized and celebrated when in all actuality, they're public servants. And y'all doing too much. Democrat, Republic, I don't give a fuck. At these rallies, y'all doing too much.
Absolutely.
You're putting them on your shoulders like they are the champion. They are public servants. Your attitude towards them fucking sucks.
Absolutely.
Period.
1,000%.
And I personally, this is my personal belief, think that the reason this country is in the condition that it's in is because the attitude of the citizens towards politicians is one of adulation. Celebration, instead of holding their feet to the fucking fire.
Thanks.
So I don't relate to motherfuckers who turn them into celebrity figures, icons. I don't relate to that. Do that with your mailman. Do that with your garbage man.
Oh God.
They're public servants.
Thanks.
And I also don't rock with this idea that no individual politicians can be criticized without you first having to criticize everybody.
Yo, that was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Yo, this person did this wrong. Yo, it's the equivalent, almost. Not equivalent, but it's in the same family as the whole All Lives Matter.
Yo, it absolutely
It's in the same family. This one specific person did something wrong. You comment on the wrong they did, and the question is, did you talk about these wrongs?
Yo, it's the most absurd bullshit ever. And it's also
crazy.
Yo, it's crazy to me how I'm just gonna be frank with y'all. All right.
I thought you were Landon.
Well, today I'm Frank.
Okay.
Gotcha. Frank Castle.
Oh
today.
God.
Frank Castle today. All right. The fact that somebody has the most powerful job on the planet means many things. One of the things it doesn't mean is that he needs you to be his fucking bullet shield.
No.
When he out there fucking up.
No.
It doesn't mean you need to be going over there throwing rose petals at his fucking feet. It doesn't mean that you need to be out there defending him from the masses.
Correct.
That ain't your fucking job. They got a whole Secret Service motherfuckers out there. And especially with this current thing that's happened that we have audio for. This shit reminds me so much of the Rodney King shit, yo. We had fucking video. And that wasn't enough. We got audio, and that ain't enough. This man flat out lying. If you look at the quotes of stuff that he said during his rallies in between February 7th to March 2nd, this was directly while he was having these conversations with Woodward and saying different shit. So let me put this out here, because this has to be said, because if not, any other criticisms about specific people can't be lodged. The Democrats are only marginally better, in my opinion, when it comes to a few issues I care about. I'm specifying stuff I care about.
Right.
The bulk of the issues I want and the issues I need to be addressed, they ain't interested in addressing those.
Right.
They not. And as a black man in America, it's expected.
Yeah.
I'm nobody's priority, for
Right.
real. I'm nobody's priority. I get that. I get that I'm gonna have to do certain other things on my own to get certain shit from my community. I recognize that there is a difference. And I also realize we don't really have a lot of friends here. All right. It is what it is. Yeah. We have some, but not a lot. Right. Yeah. Cool. But while I'm here, I'm looking at this like this is an alpha of a video game. So I do want the game to get finished. I want them to put in all the features. But I recognize this is a startup and it might not even be successful.
Facts.
So for now, if you want me to help you test it, I'll settle for some quality of life fixes. So that I can at least play it and test it and not crashing all over the fucking place.
Facts.
That's how I see this. So I'm here for the quality of life stuff. And like I told you one time before, SPJ, I'm fighting as long as I'm here.
Right.
When I'm gone, I'm gone. I don't give a fuck. Because I don't know what y'all motherfuckers is looking at. But my president is Belizean. But besides, I'm saying,
I can't stand you.
You know what I'm saying?
Why are you like this?
So again, when Democrats fuck up, they deserve to be thrown on a fucking pyre.
1,000%.
Because I know for a fact that in the larger scope of things, I'm not their fucking priority. I'm only their priority around election time.
Yeah.
When they want to sell me a dream about how they're going to do this, we're going to do this. Or they'll say all the right things, but then the action does not mirror it. Or it doesn't match up to my standard. Again, I'm stressing my standard that I think for my family and my community.
Yeah.
That don't mean that I got to exclude criticism from fucking Orange Julius when he over there fucking up. And it's crazy to me because I can no longer look. I'm gonna tell you something. If you have nothing but you on defense every time this motherfucker gets, especially if I don't see you, I don't talk to you in no long period of time ever. It's not like we are in a constant whatever. So I don't have the sample size to show that. But the only time I engage with you is about that. And you running defense. You running defense.
What am I to believe?
I can't take you seriously about having a stance about I treat all politicians the same when you run into defenders. You know how much shit I saw when Obama was president on Facebook? And I never once felt the need to get on a thread and defend him. You know why? He's the fucking president. He's not a victim.
No.
He has the most powerful job in the fucking world.
He doesn't need us.
He don't need me. You know that meme that had the kid trying to high five all the basketball players as they go to the back locker room? And the people use that meme to show this is how poor people look running to the defense of billionaires. That's how you look running to the defense of politicians too. Fuck these motherfuckers, man. They are garbage men. No, I take it back. Garbage men are better. They're more useful.
Right.
They're more useful. The postal man is more useful to me than these motherfuckers. Yeah. And part of the reason that they're not useful is because the citizenry has the wrong energy with them. The absolute wrong energy with them. Y'all doing this when you need to be going bow down.
Right. So
I don't rock with that shit. And you can't say you don't support dude if you're using talking points his supporters use. If we got audio of him, not just of what he said to Woodward, but what he was saying in between those interviews in public. In public.
Lying.
And let me
your response is he ain't lied.
And let me put this out. Democrats is dead ass wrong if they throwing events and not having people social distancing or having masks on. You're dead ass wrong. Dead ass wrong. Now that that's been said,
right? Because apparently you have to.
Apparently you got to. Apparently you can't. Like, I can't talk about muffins.
You can't focus on one thing.
Yo, I can't talk about muffins unless I talk about donuts. The fuck? I can't talk about chihuahuas unless I talk about pit bulls.
I mean, hold on. I kind of agree with that one. Who the fuck? Why are we talking about chihuahuas? Why would we only? Hey, sis. Why would we be talking about chihuahuas outside of the context of other dogs? Like I don't. So, God, that one I'm kind of
confused about. Okay,
yeah,
all right. It's it is what it is with that.
Yeah,
you can have that. That ain't even what I'm mad at. You know
all right, cool.
My whole issue, and this shit has perplexed me for the longest time. For all the people, the only time I hear from you is when you disagree. How do you think that engagement is going to go?
That's, you know what's funny about that? So I had a similar scenario, kind of in reverse, where I was accused of doing that.
Wow.
And it's like, here's what I do. Honestly, I ain't gonna hold you. This is not even a me thing. This is a human being thing. I am more inclined to comment if I disagree.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I don't engage.
Right.
I like or put one word or whatever for things that I like.
Yo, do that.
Because
do that.
It's
you're supporting
not even from a content creator perspective. I didn't realize that, like, until just now, I didn't realize that was beneficial. But just from the perspective of two things. Number one, literally, I comment on things that I have opinions on, regardless of what the opinion is.
Right.
And two, because I don't want the person to think that I'm simply there to argue with them.
Right.
Because that's not the case.
Which is the other thing. So much like you, when I scroll up my Facebook stuff, stuff that I like, whether it be content, a position somebody stated, an opinion somebody stated, or something that's happening in their life that I think is cool, I hit blank. Even if I don't comment, I like that. Bam.
Or you might drop a dope.
Right. Like, bam. That's simple. That's not even hard to just like, bam, you doing that?
Right.
You doing that too, bro?
Right.
Look at you go. Bam. Right?
Simple. Yeah.
It's real simple. The amount of things I pass by that I simply just don't agree with. There is a ton of it. And I'm also
mountains worth.
Mountains. Yo, I am conscious of the fact that there are people that I do not engage with on a regular basis. So there is a certain way I need to approach them if I'm going to have a conversation with them about something. I don't even really
pause if I see one of them do that.
Right. Like, yo, I don't know this person that well.
Right.
So I don't know. I have to be as calm, not accusatory, none of this, because I don't know them and I'm trying to be polite. You know why?
Yeah.
Because when I'm on their page, under their post, I'm in their living room.
Yo, oh my God. I hate with a passion two things surrounding this type of scenario. One, the person with the comment, oh, you could have chose to ignore and keep scrolling. Well, of course, absolutely, 1000%. That was a choice that I could have taken. However, I elected to do this instead. Also, the people that are like, well, you can't just go on people's posts and talk how you want and blah, blah, blah. You can. The thing is, they're allowed to do whatever they want back.
Exactly. Here's the thing. If I am not the type of person that is in this to alienate people.
Right.
At least I wasn't.
Right.
This year and last year, has shown me. It's funny how you put a bookmark on certain shit. Since my 5 days in Belize, then I came back here. I have a different attitude with some of these motherfuckers. I admittedly, there was a time when I wasn't about the alienation of people, because now I don't give a fuck. You know why I don't give a fuck? Because of one of the things we're going to talk about in this show is an example. This particular episode is an example of why I don't give a fuck anymore. Because
and I'm pretty sure I know which one you're talking about.
You know, because it's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yep, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
But as a rule, I don't go on somebody else's post being rude, incendiary, inflammatory, or name calling. I don't do none of that shit. And even when I have a conversation with them, even if I disagree with them and choose to pipe up, it's done with respect. You know what I'm saying?
I'll admit that is not my credo.
Your ass.
That's not my credo.
Again, though, that's conditional too.
Yes, absolutely.
It depends on what this motherfucker posts.
Yes, it depends.
If you posted some shit that I feel like is a direct insult to me, my community, or to another community that I feel like, yo, what the fuck is you picking on them for?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
Depending on how I'm feeling at the moment.
Absolutely. All that
shit matters. But
it ranges. You might get fussed out or you might get blocked. That's how I'm carrying it. That's just how I carry it.
Absolutely.
If not that I'm big shit, but if we're on each other's Facebook page, 9 times out of 10 there's a reason. 9 times out of 10 we want to be on each other's Facebook page.
Facts.
So if you want that, consider yourself lucky when I come to your page and say something, because the alternative would have been blocking you.
Right. And again, if you look at the ratio of stuff that I post on my Facebook page, it's far more my content, far more a game I liked, some doing screenshots or videos of a game that I'm playing. It's far more stuff like that than it is politics.
Yeah. Well, depending on who you ask, I can't say the same thing, because apparently talking about, liking black women and
that's political.
Treating black people right and not being homophobic. Apparently those things are political, so I can't say the same thing.
Well, to be honest, they are political. It's socio-political. But what winds up happening is you have politics as a overall heading.
Yeah.
And then you have fiscal politics, social politics, all politics, because at the end of the day, there are policies that govern certain things about those. So, but the fact that if you defend black women or you defend gays, that becomes somehow inflammatory to other people, should tell you more about that other person. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a weird flex, you know what I'm saying? But my whole beef is because of the fact that the majority of stuff I post is content related. If I don't see you ever engage with my content, or if I have a win, something that I'm this happened, this is cool,
right?
Like that, and I don't ever see you on there with the congrats or at least a like that's what's up,
right? Yeah,
but the only time I see
I almost have a mental memory of those people who do those things.
Exactly.
Who do come and congratulate.
Exactly.
Who do come and laugh at a joke or tell a joke or stuff like that. I have those in my head.
Facts.
So when things go off, like, for instance, there's this one Facebook friend who we have in common, and they always around for the good shit. So whenever they get off a little bit on one of their tangents, I let it slide. I don't say anything to them, because 9 times out of 10, they are on what I would consider the quote unquote right path,
right,
with their engagement. So whenever they come in on some other shit, it's like, all right, this is an aberration. This isn't the norm. So I'm gonna let them rock. And 9 times out of 10, other people come and address it anyway. So
facts. Facts. I've seen a lot of that too. But the vast majority of the time when I see somebody, spewing something extremely toxic on their post, rather than, I don't even want to talk to you, I just block you. Get the fuck out of here. Why are you on my friends list? Why the fuck are you on my friends list? You know what I'm saying? Thanks. But can you imagine how crazy it is for an American citizen who has obviously bought into the American mythcraft to have a dispute about another citizen saying, yo, we shouldn't be treating these politicians like messiahs.
Right. Yeah.
Putting people on pedestals is going to kill all of us.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Which is a bit of hyperbole, but there's also historical precedent for this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The only people that take hyperbole and try to turn that into an actionable claim, most of the time I found, are atheists. They take hyperbole. I am a writer.
Right.
I'm a writer of songs, a writer of fiction. I use words every day for more than just communicating with somebody to get a point A to point Z point across, but also to express a feeling, to express it. So everything's not going to be a one-to-one.
No.
I also clip shit from quotes from movies that I've seen and liked, and all of that shit, put it in there. That particular last part of that, it's going to kill all of you, is from Shao Kahn from the Mortal Kombat television series. When he told Raiden in the final episode, he told Raiden, love, compassion, caring, it's going to kill all of you. Now I get people that don't engage with me a lot aren't going to catch my idiosyncrasies.
Of course not.
And that's completely understandable.
They don't have to.
They don't have to. Completely understandable, right? But even with that, looking at the context of what was written before it, the whole turning these businessmen and lawyers into golden calves is going to kill all of you. You don't see the biblical reference to them putting the golden calf up, Yahweh getting pissed, and then sending Moses down there to kill all of them. Bars
that came from something.
That came from something. And it's literally bars. The only people that don't seem to understand that I have found is a lot of atheists. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's not because they are mentally incapable of doing it. It's not that. It's not that. It's because it's a certain type of argumentation they have been conditioned to from the whole YouTube atheist era. And I've seen this a lot. In conversations about social justice, I've seen them use the exact same argumentation. Where they'll cherry pick, like, they'll take something. Oh, that word doesn't mean that. No, it means that too.
Yeah.
I've seen this. And I'm an atheist. Who has engaged with atheists for years. I've seen, this is what I've observed.
Right.
Like I said, it's not because they can't. It's because
they're just pull I have atheist friends.
Yes.
Okay.
No. Right. Not only do I have atheist friends, right?
It's you.
I'm an atheist. Now, hold up, excuse me. Not only am I just a simple rank and file atheist,
right?
I was a voice in the activist movement.
Absolutely.
So I've been around, I've seen it, I've witnessed it, I've seen it, I've seen them. It's a certain type of argumentation that they consistently use that probably does work well if you're discussing biblical words, phraseologies, definitions, and stuff like that. But it doesn't work well in other types of conversations. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
So that's what you kind of have to deal with. And by now I'm used to it. I know it when I see it. But I have been noticing over the past couple of years, I've been slowly weeding out those in that community that are on that bullshit. Yeah. Because I don't want, like, that shit there. I am different now than I was in 2012. I figure you should be too. I figure like
tough ask.
Yo, apparently, I figure that all of us essentially are still that kid in the playground.
I would like to be,
but we have accumulated layers from life experience. So the core of you is still that little kid that was in the playground, but you have accumulated knowledge, experience, and other interactions and engagement with other people that has taught you things and how to move and stuff like that. So the person you are now is not the person you was in elementary school.
Correct.
Right? So if I don't see that type, and believe me, I've experienced this on my artist page. There are times that people will, I post something and somebody will say something like, for instance, y'all know I'm a huge comic book nerd. Huge comic book. Yo,
I wasn't aware.
It's insane, right?
Huh.
So
is that Ant-Man?
Yes, this is Ant-Man right here. So you know that, right? So one time on my artist page, I posted some comic book stuff. People engaged with what?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yo, that's absurd. So no works of fiction can ever be shared or talked about. Or apparently not. Apparently not.
No.
Apparently
if
not.
You were a real atheist. You worry about the real life things.
Yeah, apparently. Like I've seen that, so I know that exists. There are people that are stuck in, and for some people, I understand why, even if I don't actually get it. I understand. Like, yo, I just don't get why you still there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it, but again, it is what it is with that. But to wrap this rant up, please miss me with all that bullshit about. If you only engage with me, you don't engage with none of my content any other time. You're not really down with helping this train move forward. Miss me with your misunderstandings of what I'm posting, or your added straw men to what I'm saying. Miss me with that. Also, miss me with any talk of liberty. Y'all don't believe that shit. Y'all don't really believe that shit. The jaded one is in the house.
Oh, shit. Who are we?
We are nobody. We are.
Who are we?
We are but dust in the wind.
The presence of the jaded one.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy. But yeah, miss me with your talks of liberty. Miss me with your talks about how you against tyranny. If you are so charitable about people that you put in office lying to you, being less than honest to you about certain things. It's certain things that I get they don't want in the public, because it's things that. But when it comes to something like a disease, and there's a certain type of behavior that the public needs to engage in to keep people safer, and you're misrepresenting what that is. You're wrong as fuck.
Absolutely.
Miss me with that. Miss me
without question.
Can you imagine if somebody said one excuse? Oh, well, he did the China ban. Can you imagine?
That's not comparable. What?
It's almost 200,000.
That's only for people. That's only for people that were going to be traveling.
And if the disease was already here,
right,
that means nothing. But can you imagine what your mama would have said to you, right? If she told you before she left the house to clean the kitchen, and you went in there and you mopped the floor, but you didn't clean the dishes. And then when she comes home and goes, how come you ain't clean the kitchen?
I did.
Like, I did. I mopped the floor. No. There's dishes in here too.
Yeah.
This is to me the equivalent of that, of using that as a coverall.
Absolutely.
That's not that ain't it, Chief. Especially since we finding out that at least in New York, a large percentage of people that was infected came from Europe. Yeah. He waited till after the China ban to do the Europe ban.
Absolutely.
So I don't want to hear you run it. He tried really hard. Fuck out my face. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna end it. That motherfucker is not a victim. No. He is not a delicate butterfly.
He's a victim of himself.
Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. That man comes down the escalator, cussing motherfuckers out and talking shit to people. In 2015, come down there and talk shit. This group ain't that. This group ain't that.
All right, listen.
Fuck out of here.
I must admit, there are certain scenarios in life that I can see myself potentially reaching where I would come down elevators.
Yo, you stupid. What your ass? My point is he came in hot. Now he can't take the heat. He came in hot. The discourse is already fucked up. So now you're gonna get this work.
Yeah,
you're gonna get this work. You're gonna get this work.
The part about it is he will be fine.
Facts. Facts. But I am done with my rant.
Word. Let's jump into these topics. Oh God, shalom. Let's jump into these topics. So, what in the cultural appropriation is going on here? I don't understand. I'm at a loss for understanding. Maybe my comprehension levels have dipped due to the pandemic. I don't know what's going on.
It's possible.
I mean, hey,
could have
here we go. TikTok team.
Bars.
Yeah, criticized for giving the impression that an Ashanti cover was her own song.
What in the wild, wild world of sports?
I mean, whatever. Teenage TikTok bars star Danielle Cohn is getting criticized after she shared a preview of what she claimed was her own song, but was really a cover of Ashanti's Foolish. Cohn, who is reportedly now 16, first gained online attention for videos in which she lip-synced along to famous tracks back in 2016. But now, pause for a cause real quick. I'm slightly confused. I apologize if I'm just that out of touch.
Kind of old.
It would seem to me like, hey, but it would seem to me that a 12-year-old gaining popularity for lip syncing other people's songs, maybe it's the cynic in me, but I have to believe that there are pedophiles involved in that.
Well, okay, so let me see if I can break this down, right? Because I have kids that at the time were on TikTok and all of this.
Yeah.
There was this little movement that was happening where people would have their favorite songs and they would go out there and lip sync it on TikTok and try to get the sync perfect and act.
No, I get that
stuff. That's probably what they're talking about.
But my
that's
thing is,
got famous.
But that's the issue that I have. Not the people doing it, because everybody was doing it.
And everybody wasn't good at it. That's the other thing.
Right.
Everybody wasn't good at it.
You know what? That's fair.
That's probably what she probably was. She probably was
great. Milli Vanilli. Milli Vanilli.
On point.
Hey.
Yo, it's this black comedian who does that with Trump's quotes. And it's amazing how he does. So I think it kind of morphed into that a bit. And that's probably, but I have to say it was pretty foolish of her to think.
Okay. All right. Now I'm ignoring that. By the time she was 13, she revealed that she was planning to move to Los Angeles to help launch her music career. As BuzzFeed News reported in 2018. Cohn claimed at the time that she was one of the most hated people on Instagram. An impressive boast, considering her competition included the likes of Tekashi 6ix9ine and Woah Vicky. While Cohn might not be the internet's actual least favorite person, she is now getting a lot of static from Ashanti fans, as she has seemingly preferred to her version of Foolish as her own song rather than a cover. "Make a TikTok to my new song," she wrote, even calling the track Foolish in the description of the video. Fans came out in droves to criticize Cohn for not highlighting that it was a cover, especially as many of her followers are young people who likely haven't heard the original before.
Facts. I was thinking
many were quick to point out, she never gave Ashanti credit on the TikTok and has even made merch related to the cover. So
she made
after the backlash started, Cone addressed the situation in a brief tweet. Do people not understand what a cover is? She wrote, glossing over how she at no point prior to the backlash credited it as such. Due to all the attention the cover got on Twitter, Ashanti's name started to trend. Let me get into some of these tweetleys.
Yeah.
Some of these tweetleys. Hey, listen.
Tweet.
Not this.
Your mama stink.
Not this. What? Oh God. Not this white girl stealing Ashanti song and trying to claim it as her own. Now, mind you, I watched this video. That it's attached to, because it's only like 5 or 6 seconds or something like that. It's only her singing like. It's only her singing like the chorus, and I was like, "What the fuck? What? Why is this a thing? How is what? Where?" And then I think back because somebody. Well, we'll get to that. There's another person, y'all. There's a whole video. The edges, the makeup. Ashanti is rolling in her Egyptian sheets.
Wow,
rolling in her Egyptian sheets. That was creative. Yeah. I appreciate.
Yes.
So she says, please stop quoting with SpongeBob. SpongeBob voice. It's a cover. I'm not dumb.
Stop.
I know what a cover is.
Stop. False. Go in.
I'm not dumb. I know what a cover is. And I never said it wasn't. She didn't give Ashanti credit on TikTok initially. She said, my new song. Yeah, and she made merchandise to sell.
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
Make a profit off of
that is
her
crazy.
New song.
That is crazy.
Please shut the fuck up.
Yo, I have to agree with Libby over there with that. I know I messed around with her quote in the beginning, but I have to do, I'm trolling people. But I have to agree. This is more than
it's beyond the cover.
It's beyond. Listen, you got merchandise behind that shit to make money, and then you didn't even credit the original.
Right. Wait, it gets worse. Gets worse. So
all the nurses getting worse.
Another person says, all of us Ashanti fans listen to this trifling girl fucking up Foolish and got the audacity to say it's her song. The fuck? Wait, a person had claimed that they had a new song titled Foolish, and it's the exact Foolish song Ashanti created. Here's another thing. So this girl stole Foolish by Ashanti and claimed that she was inspired by her. She does know she can get sued over copyright infringement, right? And then made a music video. Another one. Ashanti starts with A. This is funny because it's a gif of Umar.
Yo, this is so ass, yo.
Ashanti starts with A, just like African. You have some nerve trying to steal an Ashanti song when you are not African. Fun, hilarious. Hilarious.
High comedy.
That's a great question, Addie. Did she think Ashanti fans didn't exist? I don't know. Maybe she's not really aware of who Ashanti. You got to think about it. It's possible that she really don't know who Ashanti is.
Yeah, hold on for a second.
That she just came across the song.
Hold on for a second. Greg says this chat needs gifts because I don't have the words to express the kind of profanity I want. Like, you know what? I agree with that. Why are there no gifts in YouTube chat? Because this shit.
Yo,
what the fuck are you doing? Like, what the fuck are you
Hey,
doing?
here's the kicker. Here's the one that I wanted to get to. Do you not understand you need permission and proper credits to an artist to cover their use? Yet Ashanti's name is not at all in your song credits. But yeah, sure, girl. It is a picture of this girl who distributed this song to Spotify. And has not one credit to Ashanti or anybody else who may be a songwriter on this song.
Yo, that is tropical fruit bananas.
Now, here's the issue. I am interested in seeing how this will play out because a couple things. One,
a cease and desist order is about to come out. That's what's going to happen.
Right. Because number one, DistroKid will allow you to upload a cover.
Right? They will.
So that's the one thing. But I'm just hoping. I have no reason to believe that she would do this. I'm begging. I am praying that Ashanti doesn't pull some. Oh no, it's cool. She's just a little girl. She ain't know no better.
Let me tell you something. You're about to be mad because I think that's what's gonna happen.
Listen, yo, I would be because
you're about to be mad.
It's one thing.
Shit.
My biggest issue with this is the audacity, the temerity, the unmitigated gall of this little white woman to literally steal this song. And then it's one thing if she put this on YouTube, right?
Yeah, that's.
It's one thing if she made clear that it was a cover.
Yeah.
But no, this is, cultural appropriation is looking at this and being like, what the fuck?
This also is a symptom of people not understanding history, right?
Mm.
How many songs have been stolen by Black artists?
Mm-hmm.
Like literally took them from them and didn't credit them and they didn't get the money that other people got. So it's like, there's a whole bunch of that mixed in.
That's the reason I'll be mad. Because of that fact, because of the historic precedent of it all.
Yeah.
That is the reason I would be upset.
Look, Marissa says, and she's right.
That's funny. And that's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to get you.
It's a fact.
That's what I was about to get you. I want the other people that are, because we all know Ashanti ain't write that song.
She ain't write that song.
We know that, right?
She didn't
write we're aware. Because that kind of confused me with these tweets. I don't know if they know, but then again, they just might not be privy to
it. Don't even matter.
The music
they know that the original song came from her.
Ashanti. Right.
So
my thing is the other people.
Yeah, ASCAP, BMI, just like Melissa said. It's like she said. Like that's why I said there's going. I'm laughing at that money. I'm laughing at that money. You see that money emoji? Marissa's comment. Like it has like wings on it and shit. Like
that is hilarious.
There's going to be a cease and desist in her future. I'm telling you.
I need to see this because now I'm curious.
What are you curious about, George?
I need to find out what's going on with this. With these credits for this this specific song. I need to know. Okay, songwriters. Ashanti Douglas, of course, she's, there are several ways that you can get a songwriting credit. But regardless, we're gonna leave it alone. Not important. Ashanti Douglas, Mark DeBarge, Elter Trine Jordan, Irving Lorenzo, which is Irv Gotti.
Right.
I probably didn't. Irving Lorenzo, which is Irv Gotti. Marcus Vest. Producers Irv Gotti, Seven Aurelius. So, yeah, I'm fairly certain that these people are going to want to have some type of talk or legal action with this young lady and or the people who may or may not be representing her.
Right.
So yeah, Mark DeBarge from DeBarge, of course. The name that I got wrong is Bunny DeBarge from DeBarge, of course.
Miss Bunny.
Yeah. Of course. Irving Lorenzo is Irv Gotti. And Marcus Vest is Seven Aurelius. So, yeah. Expect action. Matter of fact, I wonder if there's been an update to this because...
How long? This was on the 6th. All this shit happened exploded on September 6th.
Yeah.
So it is now the 12th. Not even a week
Yeah,
but
maybe not yet.
See, here's the other thing about that too. So when it comes to stuff like that, there are times where it flies underneath the radar. If you don't sell a certain amount, like over a certain amount of units, they don't even notice that you're there. If you don't stream beyond a certain amount, the problem she's having is that she's getting all this attention for it, and that's what puts it above the, like, on the radar.
Wait
you know what I'm saying?
a minute, there has been an update.
Shit.
Following the criticism, TikTok star Daniel Cohn has gotten forgiven the impression her cover of Ashanti's Foolish was her song. Her mom/manager has claimed they got permission from Ashanti's team before releasing the track.
That's what she claims?
In a statement to BuzzFeed News, she says that her daughter made a mistake when she called the track her song and not a cover in the TikTok caption. She is a teenager. She made a mistake on a TikTok. I think this is out of hand. We got a license. We got a license and went the right way, and Ashanti and her team will get their royalties. I am sickened at the amount of crap these people on the internet put her through. She out here living her dream, and to have adults and kids attack her this bad, it's sad because most people would not have been able to handle what she's been going through.
No.
So far, Ashanti's team has yet to confirm whether or not the cover.
So this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. First of all, Mama, I understand that's your kid. You gonna come?
Oh, that's all that this is.
But this what we gonna do. Let's say Ashanti and them does come out and confirms what she said. That does not change the fact that the response to that was right.
Yeah.
The people that responded that they don't know. This is on her and you. Because why is
the manager?
Why is she uploading her music?
Yeah.
Why is she doing it? You should be doing it. You're the manager, right? And she's a minor, right?
Yep.
So you should be doing all of that and making sure that everything. Nah, B.
Yeah.
No, you're still wrong. And Ashanti's fans are not wrong for seeing that the way that looked.
Plus, you fucked the song up. I mean, listen, that's a part, because here's the thing. If it slapped, slapped,
she wouldn't have got as much. She would have got some, but she wouldn't have got as much.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because you would know better, right? But given what I've seen happen afterwards, I'm fairly certain that this is the case. It wasn't a bunch of people out there knowing that "I Will Always Love You" was a Dolly Parton song first.
Right, it wasn't.
Not when Whitney's came out.
That's true. It's true.
So
that's true.
Why? Because it slapped. So it didn't matter. There were people who knew that probably didn't complain because, like, oh,
right,
this is amazing.
Right.
So yeah, this
and also things was a little different back when in the industry. Facts. Whitney released that shit. Like, for instance, we're living at a time that's unprecedented as far as information being disseminated amongst the masses. It is literally instantaneous. So at that time, when Whitney released that cover, that wasn't the case.
Facts.
So it takes time for people to come to the realization. Also, and this is the part I'm unsure about. I am fairly certain that Whitney sold way more copies.
Oh yeah,
than Dolly did. Of hers,
but it doesn't matter because Dolly got that money from it too.
Well, listen, Dolly.
Yeah, she don't care. Yeah, she don't.
First of all, Dolly the shit. Anyway, Dolly the shit anyway. You know what I'm saying? But absolutely. Again, I'm speaking merely about the popularity. So once
facts.
More people heard it from her, they was not. There were some people that did know that that was a Dolly Parton song, but now it's not. It's not the same. It ain't the same.
Yeah. I mean, given how different they are, there were people who heard the original and still didn't connect the two.
Exactly. That's a fact. You know what's funny about that? When I had to perform in Texas, right? We was at the airport, and in one of the stores, they had a television monitor up there, and they were playing stuff from the Grand Ole Opry, video of that. And they had Dolly on there, and she was up there performing with what's the dude's name? Johnny Cash. Let me tell you something. You know, I'm not into the whole country scene like that. Johnny Cash had bars, and they was up there. What he was doing was very close to rap. Very close to rap.
Oh yeah.
And he was saying some shit. He was saying, and I remember sitting there mesmerized. Because I remember the Grand Ole Opry used to be on PBS, and it probably was a rerun then, right? But as a kid, you know, oh damn, Grand Ole Opry on, I'm not watching this. And you don't go about our business. Well, when you in Texas, he do as a Texan, right? And I'm sitting there watching this shit, and I'm going, yo, that motherfucker spitting.
Oh, Johnny Cash, listen. Johnny Cash can do no wrong in my mind.
Johnny Cash was spitting, yo. And Dolly was up there killing it too. So, like, that's just a little experience that I had with Dolly Parton and realizing actually Dolly's dope.
Shit.
Dolly's dope. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And she's a decent freaking human being.
Oh, Marissa. Marissa, I forgot all about this. Praz and Maya's ghetto superstar.
Oh yeah.
Dolly and Kenny got paid for that.
We're not gonna be disrespectful and omit the late great ODB. I'm
just saying, Dolly and Kenny.
But yeah, absolutely.
Fuck Kenny though. But look,
I mean, hey,
fuck Kenny.
Hey.
He one of them. He one of
tears
them.
with tears.
He one of them. But
tears with tears.
And that hurt my feelings because I actually fucked with Johnny.
Right.
Excuse me, Kenny. I fucked with Kenny.
I'm about to say don't my
bad. Like I actually fucked with Kenny when I was a kid because he did a show called The Gambler. I think it was like a little TV special, whatever, based off of his song, and it was Jive Dope. I was like, oh, he seemed like a Jive. But see, I was a kid then, and you know, as a kid, you want to believe that these motherfuckers is down and they cool because on TV they smiling and shit.
Or it might not even come to mind. It's not always that we think that they're great people.
That's true.
Sometimes we just don't care about, like, we don't care in overall, but in the moment we don't think about whether they're a good person.
But see, that's the thing. I did. All of these celebrities that have later come out and shown themselves to be shitbirds. When I was part of the TV generation.
That explains the overcorrection.
Exactly. Like,
that makes sense.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I saw them as they, you know, cool. And I remember I heard my mom tell my sister one time, these kids, she was like, everybody that smile at you ain't cool and don't like you. You know what I'm saying? Just they smiling on me, you know what I'm saying? They're happy to see you. You know what I'm saying? I remember
they might be happy about what they about to get a chance to do to you.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of these things. When I was a kid, though, I was part of the TV generation. You know what I'm saying? Like the Drummonds from Different Strokes and the Facts of Life, Miss Garrett, and all. You know, I'm from that generation where these people got to be cool, right? They don't got no problem with me. I'm a kid like those kids on the. No, you not though. Actually, motherfucker, you actually are not like.
And they not.
And they not. and they're playing a role. It's not.
They're getting paid.
They're getting paid to go out there and be as affable, and you know, or whatever things that they supposed to be portraying. They got that. And I'm gonna tell y'all one of the. I would assume that one of the worst realizations for a black kid from my generation that grew up watching, being a part of the TV generation, is when you realize that a lot of the people you've been watching could give fuck all about your black ass.
Yeah.
To hear Hulk Hogan say the things he said. I was a Hulkamaniac. To see that he wasn't, well, you wasn't even, listen, when Hulk Hogan was, you wasn't even thought
of. Nigga.
Like,
No. No. I will not let you get away with this one.
Nigga,
Hulk Hogan had multiple peaks. He was not a mountain. He was a mountain range.
That's true. But I'm just going to say this to you. My timeline stretches longer.
Absolutely.
So when he first got on, after he beat the Iron Sheik, none of those other peaks after that this was retarded the way, excuse me for using that phrase. This was ridiculous. The way, dude, I wonder if you can still find video footage of him coming down the ring, then leaning back on and it's just, yo, he was the hero. And his rise, that initial rise.
He's a superstar Billy Graham knockoff.
Yo, that's all he is. That's all he is. That's all he is. He did the hustle better. He did the hustle better. Yeah, that's all it is. He did the hustle better. But like I said, at the time, yo, when he beat the, I remember as a kid, the Iron Sheik and these motherfuckers, I ain't like them. Like these little motherfuckers, I can't stand them, you know what I'm saying? So Hulk Hogan coming down the ring and dropping the leg and doing all, yo, I was his thing. I am this is Hulk Hogan. And then to hear him say the stuff that I heard him say for somebody from my generation that saw, like, you don't give fuck all. Right. Oh, I get it now. Clearly. I got you. So you will forever be on my shit list.
I don't think his is a hate. I think his is a literal indifference. Like,
no, he said out of his mouth, to a certain degree, I am a racist. This is his quote. So to me, it's kind of clear. Like, you know, it's kind of clear. So, and of course, it has to do with his daughter dating. Black guys. You know, but
see, that's with me. Fuck him before and after that. I don't. Yeah, I've never like. Yeah. He was a necessary evil of wrestling for me. Like I had to see him because he was him.
Yeah,
but
he was. But like this, by the time you got older, he was already him. By the time you got to see it, he was already him.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying? Thanks. Like, yo, I remember when he slammed Andre the Giant.
Yo, Greg, great point. In hindsight, that walk-in music was prophetic as fuck.
Oh, hell yeah.
I am a real American. You are right, sir.
Yeah. It's facts.
You are right.
Facts. You definitely are, yo.
You are. You fit the archetype exactly.
Yes, you definitely are.
To a T.
But it's just one of the things. Remember we talked about earlier how at the core of you, you're still that kid on the playground. So like I said, like that was so disappointing to me. And it started a cascade of me finding out what kind of shitbirds these motherfuckers. Like, I'm gonna tell you, I was too young to know anything about those interviews John Wayne did.
Yeah.
So my experience with John Wayne is really from one movie, and I thought that movie was dope. And it was called The Cowboys, where he actually was killed early in the movie. He took a bunch of kids out into the it was a cattle run, and they had a black cook, right? And they was out there. He was teaching them what it was to be, you know, cowboys. This, that, and other. He was gruff. He was grumpy. But he seemed to have, you know, good character, right? These rustlers came through, and the guy that killed him in the movie is still around. His old ass is still around and making movies now, right?
Oh wow!
But yeah, like, but the main villain, John Wayne, whooped his ass, and when he turned around to walk away, the dude shot him in the back. And then those kids and that cook, they tried to lynch the cook. The cook got away, but the kids and that cook formulated a plan to kill these motherfuckers, and they absolutely killed every last one of them. And the scene that sticks out the most to me is after they shot the main bad guy, the camera just like stayed on each one of the little boys' faces, like for like 30 seconds. Bam, 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 bam. As they smile when this motherfucker died. I love that movie. And then I got old enough to see the interviews where he was in support of, I'm white supremacist because really. So by the time Chuck D said Elvis was the hero the most and fuck him and John Wayne, I had already saw the interview, so I knew exactly what the fuck Chuck was talking about. I saw the interviews. But like I said, being a black kid from that era where it wasn't a lot of black shows on TV, seeing the people that you grew up watching thinking they, to find out that they were shitbirds is probably one of the most heartbreaking thing about being a black person.
They say don't meet your heroes, man.
Don't meet your heroes, man. Y'all should never listen. Don't ever meet me.
Stop it. Oh God,
I'm trash.
Now we're moving on. the Oscars have implemented what some people are calling a woke quota. Now, here's the thing.
It's not enough.
Before I even get into this might be one of the most conflicting stories that we've covered in our entire run.
Yes. I agree.
So let me dig into it. September 8th, today, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences announced new representation and inclusion standards for Oscars eligibility in the Best Picture category as part of its Academy Aperture 2025 initiative. The standards are designed to encourage equitable representation, and that's funny that they use that word because I'm always talking about the difference between equity and equality. Equity.
Right.
Anyway, continue. That's very interesting that they use that word. Representation on and off screen in order to better reflect the diversity of the movie-going audience. Academy governors Devon, why has it got to be a Devon?
I know.
Franklin and Jim Giannopoulos?
I think that's
Giannopoulos. Boom.
Giannopoulos.
Got it.
I mean,
headed a task force to develop the standards that were created from a template inspired by the British Film Institute diversity standards used for certain funding eligibility in the UK and eligibility in some categories of the British Academy of Film and Television Awards, but were adapted to serve the specific needs of the Academy. The Academy also consulted with the Producers Guild of America, as it presently does for Oscars eligibility. The aperture must widen. That's funny.
The aperture must widen.
That's only going to be funny to photography geeks.
That's camera bars right there.
Yeah, the aperture must widen to reflect our diverse global population in both the creation of motion pictures and in the audiences who connect with them. The Academy is committed to playing a vital role in helping make this a reality, said Academy President David Rubin and Academy CEO Don Hudson. We believe these inclusion standards will be a catalyst for long-lasting, essential change in the industry. For the 94th Oscars and 95th Oscars, submitting a confidential Academy inclusion standards form will be required for Best Picture consideration. However, meeting inclusion thresholds will not be required for eligibility in the Best Picture category until what? Hold on. I have to read that again because I got lost.
Yeah, it's a bit wordy.
Because it seems, for the 94th Oscars and the 95th Oscars, submitting a confidential Academy inclusion standards form will be required for Best Picture consideration. However, meeting including thresholds will not be required. Okay. So you have to submit the form.
Right.
You just don't have to meet it yet.
Right.
Not until year 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the 96 Oscars, a film must meet 2 out of 4 of the following standards to be deemed eligible. Mm-hmm. So this is a very rare occurrence on the show where we have the actual news story and not really an editorial or anybody's opinion about it. Right. So we're going to dig into this shit. Standard A, on-screen representation. Mind you, again, only has to meet 2 out of the 4.
Right.
Of the following standards. Standard A, on-screen representation, themes, and narratives. To achieve Standard A, the film must meet 1 of the following criteria. So that means doing 1 of these things, one of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 group of things is enough to satisfy meeting 1 of the 4 requirements. So A1, lead or significant supporting actors. At least one of the lead actors or significant supporting actors is from an underrepresented racial or ethnic group. Asian, Hispanic / Latinx, Black / African American, Indigenous / Native / Alaskan Native, Middle Eastern / North African, Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander, other underrepresented race or ethnicity.
Like Asgardian or Wakandan.
Sure. A2, general ensemble cast. At least 30% of all actors in the secondary and more minor roles are from at least two of the following underrepresented groups: women, racial or ethnic group, LGBTQ+, people with cognitive or physical disabilities or who are deaf or hard of hearing. A3, the main storyline subject matter. The main storyline's theme or narrative of the film is centered on an underrepresented group: women, racial or ethnic group, LGBTQ+, people with cognitive or physical disabilities who are deaf or hard of hearing. So let's go over this first one.
Mm-hmm.
So there are three categories: lead or significant support actor, general ensemble cast, or main storyline subject matter. Of those three, you have to reach one of those criteria in order to get this entire category in your favor.
Right.
That means, matter of fact, I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. So that's one. That's one category.
Mm-hmm.
Category 2, standard B, creative leadership and project team. To achieve standard B, the film must meet one of the criteria below. Again, creative leadership and department heads. At least two of the following creative leadership positions and department heads: casting director, cinematographer, composer, costume designer, director, editor, hairstylist, makeup artist, producer, production designer, set decorator, sound, VFX supervisor, writer, are from the following underrepresented groups: women, racial, LGBTQ+, people with cognitive or physical disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
At least one of the positions must belong to the following underrepresented racial or ethnic group: Asian, Hispanic, Latinx. Same groups.
Yeah, same groups.
That's section 1 of this category. Section 2, other key roles. At least 6 other crew, team, and technical positions, excluding production assistants, are from an underrepresented racial or ethnic group. These positions include, but are not limited to, first AD, gaffer, script supervisor, etc. Part 3 of this category: overall crew composition. At least 30% of the film's crew is from the following underrepresented groups. Same. The criteria are the same for every one of them. If it says underrepresented group, it's going to be women, racial, ethnic group, LGBTQ+, or people with some type of disability. If it says underrepresented racial ethnic group, is going to be Asian, Hispanic, Latinx, Black, African American, Indigenous, Native, Alaskan Native, Middle Eastern, North African, Native Hawaiian, other Pacific Islander, other underrepresented race or ethnicity.
Basically,
so that's
same
the
as
second
the
category.
Before.
Yeah. For all of these is going to be that.
Yeah.
So that's category 2. It's category 2. Category 3. Standard C, industry access and opportunities. To achieve standard C, the film must meet both criteria below: paid apprenticeship and internship opportunities. The film's distribution or financing company has paid apprenticeships or internships that are from the following underrepresented groups. I already said what those groups are. The major studios distributors are required to have substantive ongoing paid apprenticeships/internships inclusive of underrepresented groups. Must also include racial or ethnic groups in most of the following departments: production development, physical production, post-production, music, VFX, acquisitions, business affairs, distribution, marketing, and publicity. The many major or independent studios distributors must have a minimum of 2. Okay, same thing. The second section in this category: training opportunities and skills development. The film's production, distribution, and or financing company offers training and or work opportunities for below-the-line skill development to people from the following underrepresented groups. Again, same groups. So that's category C. Category D, which is the 4th, that you need 1 out of these 4 to qualify.
Right.
audience development. To achieve standard D, the film must meet the criterion below. D1, there's only one D. Okay. Representation in marketing, publicity, and distribution. The studio and/or film company has multiple in-house senior executives from among the following underrepresented groups. Must include individuals from underrepresented racial or ethnic groups on their marketing, publicity, and/or distribution teams, and it's the same groups. All categories other than Best Picture will be held to their current eligibility requirements. Films in the specialty feature categories, animated feature films, documentary feature, international feature films, submitted for the Best Picture general entry consideration will be addressed separately. Academy Aperture 2025 is the next phase of the Academy's Equity and Inclusion Initiative, furthering the organization's ongoing efforts to advance inclusion in the entertainment industry and increase representation within its membership and the greater film community. Now,
y'all still with us?
Right. Oh my God. So here's the thing. Everybody's mad.
But are they all mad for different reasons?
Yes. And there are, I don't want to use the word valid, but there are reasons that track for pretty much each group that's upset.
Right.
So you have the group of people who are saying, this is a slap in the face of merit.
Oh yeah, I know that's coming.
You know that's
come
on.
Yo, listen.
Come on.
I have been on record as saying that what's old is new again. A lot of the same arguments that they're using now, they've been using since the 60s.
You've been here.
Yeah, I've heard this before.
Yeah, you've been here for a while, so that's clear. It's obvious. Now, to be fair, there's a small percentage of a possibility that could ever happen. Not that it'll happen often, but that it'll ever happen. Sure, fine, okay, I'll grant you that.
The other thing that I find entirely fallacious about the ones that yelling this merit shit. We don't live in a meritocracy now. You just think you do.
Bars.
Yeah,
somebody that happened. Somebody said it about football. Some white guy, and he was like, "It's a meritocracy in the NFL and blah blah this and blah." I'm like, no, it's literally not though. Like that's not how that works. If it was a meritocracy, there would be no need for interviews.
None. Fuck out of here. I'll just look at your stats and go, bam.
Yeah,
get the fuck out of it.
Like, you've been coaching your whole life. You've been coaching for 25 years.
Here's the job.
At every level, here's the job. That's not how that works.
Yeah, like get the fuck.
That's just not how that works.
Sorry, homeboy. Don't mean to bust your bubble. Right? All right. We don't live in a meritocracy, and we never have.
Nah, so there's three camps. There's the meritocracy camp.
Hey, yo, Marissa said light affirmative action for Best Picture.
That's funny. That's where I'm going with it, sis. So there are the three camps. There's the meritocracy club. There's the camp that says this is not enough. You're not doing enough.
Yeah, of course.
And then there's the camp that says you're doing too much. This is not what we asked you for. So I'm a combination, not equal parts.
Yeah.
I'm a combination of all three. Because here's the thing. This is not what we asked you for.
They always do what we
you
don't
could
ask them
simply wait, I gotta go on a rant real quick. You just reminded me. You motherfuckers
okay.
who are crying about people who do not have the power to do things, doing things that we didn't ask for, SpongeBob meme, are fucking idiots.
Yeah.
What is wrong with so this could have actually waited for one of the next topics, but since you brought it up, these motherfuckers, something about the NFL or basketball, it was basketball, I think. and when the Bucks protested, not protested. Fuck, I can't. I hate that I can use these because people use these interchangeably. When they went on strike,
right.
Well,
strike
so
is
people talking about
protest.
People talking about no, but the thing that chaps my hind parts is when they confuse a strike and a boycott.
Oh yeah, it's a difference. That's a different.
They're different things.
Yeah, come on,
all forms of protest.
Yeah, but they are different.
They're different.
Yeah.
They're vastly different. But anyway, not the point. Talking about this ain't what we asked for. Well, what happened is they did that. They went on strike and they got closer to getting the things that we're actually asking for. That's what happened. So shut the fuck up unless you know what you're actually talking about. But anyway, so this ain't what we asked for.
This ain't what we asked for.
What you could have simply just paid more attention to the black people that are creating.
Already creating.
So yeah, that's how I feel. I'm in that camp, but this is not enough. The reason I say this is not enough because let me go through these. I've read certain parts of these several times for a reason. Must meet 2 of the 4 of the following standards. So let me try to meet 2 of the 4 standards. Let me see. A lead standard A. I'm going to make my movie a love story. If it's a love story between 2 heterosexual people, then there's a woman involved. I have this standard.
Right.
Done.
Right.
All right. So that's 1. Let me try to qualify. Let me see. Creative leadership and department heads. So if I happen to have a woman who is a makeup artist, I'm in.
Right.
I'm in.
Right.
I have a movie that is a male-centered movie, but one of the main plot lines is a love story. Right. So there's a woman involved because he's straight. Right. And I have a woman as my makeup artist.
It is. You're in.
It's over. I'm in.
You're in like Flynn.
I'm in. You didn't do enough because that's not.
And again, my position on a lot of this, I feel like it's never going to be enough. It's always going to be
there's no way
shit right here, and it kind of reminds. It's this is just a way to keep us intellectually and emotionally invested in that institution by saying we are doing. Look at what we're doing, but I have it reminds me of what I was saying in the bridge of a song that I'm writing. Everything you've created, they weaponized against you. So really hear what they're saying when they try to convince you. They always promise to change, but the beatings continue. Yo, you're invited to the table because you're on the menu. They just want you there to be invested to sponge off of your engagement, your talent, your this, to that. They're going to do the bare minimum every time. Yeah. This is why in negotiations, they tell you to ask for way more than you're actually willing to settle for. Because these motherfuckers will always do the bare minimum.
Oh, so sis says all the same spoiled arguments against it, all the same loopholes to get by it, all the same gestures that are half-ass attempts to right the wrongs. Essentially, white women would be the bitch beneficiary.
Yo, I was thinking that same shit.
Wait, hold on. I disagree.
I'm telling you, this is going to be
I don't think
action.
There will be any beneficiary. Nothing is going to have to change.
Oh, well, yeah, because they basically
there is no beneficiary.
Right.
Nothing has to change.
Well,
like I get the point.
It is in this sense. Now, they're not forced to go and fight. Like literally, like if they'd have made a real significant change, that would have kind of decreased a little bit of the power of the white woman that fits in there, then that would have been something that was lost. But they didn't. So since they didn't, it's business as usual.
Yeah.
Which means white women gain. It's been they gain. Listen, if the status quo stays the same,
but then
the people that was all the people that
status
already
quo is not a game.
No,
we might be doing semantics here.
No, we not. I'm telling. Let me give you an example outside of this, right?
Yeah.
So you work at a job, and there's a certain the percentage of management, that's there is 100% white.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that are in lower management that are black, but upper management is all white. People get tired of saying there's a glass ceiling here. There's a glass ceiling here. You're not going to let us get up top. So they go and they strike. They go and they strike. Or they do some other action to try to pressure the company into really doing a change, a real change.
Yeah.
Every time there is any kind of conflict, there's literally just a couple of ways the shit can go. So it's like a Schrodinger's cat, right?
Yeah,
there's a couple of possibilities there. So if the possibility that they do change something, there will be a change in upper management, and you'll see more people of color in there. But if they lose that possibility and the status quo remains, the same people that was benefiting from it before will be benefiting from it now forever. So if it's the great filter.
We're talking
it's the great filter. It's the great filter. Like if they don't get stopped here, going forward, it'll be the status quo.
Yeah,
so they gain.
We are speaking semantics. There is no gain. There's no net gain. No, they on the same trajectory.
Continue to make
No, we're saying the same thing.
Nothing is written in. What I'm saying is nothing is written in stone.
I know. We're saying the same thing.
There is a point, a great filter point, where if something changes, they no longer continue to get that money, that position, and that power. But if they continue to get that shit adds up over years. That shit becomes precedent and adds up over years.
Yeah, again, we're talking semantics. We're saying the same thing. We're saying the same exact thing.
If you can continue to finesse the system, you've gained.
It's no finesse. It is the system. You're not finessing the system.
Yeah, but if the system is never challenged, if it's never challenged, if there's never a conflict point where it could change, then I agree with that. There is no, but if there's a point where there's a war to conflict to change it, and it can go either way, and it goes the way of the status quo.
All right, hold on, wait. Continue. For me to accept that argument, you are expecting me to accept that these people in power actually care to give up some of that power.
No, they don't. But this is what I mean. This is what I'm talking about.
So is it a facade of change or actually a potential for change?
No, what I'm saying is Hitler ain't want his status quo to change.
Oh, absolutely not.
So if the people that are combating him have the power to make that change, there will be a change. The problem that we're having here is that there's literally no good way to twist them.
Wait. Remember that. The system is peacocking with synthetic feathers.
Facts.
That's exactly what this is.
What we're lacking, there is a power vacuum. Nobody in status quo wants the status quo to change. But
Absolutely.
When there's a war.
Here's my issue. And I do it. So that's one of the reasons why it's such a big issue for me.
Right.
Deciding when to generalize and when not to generalize.
There is no reason not to generalize the status quo after 400 years of it being the same. There is no reason not to generalize.
Okay. Cool. So I feel better.
Right. There is no. I feel better. It's one thing if it was 20 years.
Yeah. No, 20 years is a drop in the bucket.
That's a drop in the bucket. There is no reason. There's no reason not to generalize. At this point, we say this often. Yeah. It's not a bug.
Yeah.
It's a feature.
Listen, here's my thing about this entire process, right? You honestly probably would have been better off not doing anything. This isn't actually a damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I want to see if you came to the same conclusion I did with this. Why would you probably would have been better off not doing anything? Because I have that same position.
The reason I feel like they would have been better off not doing anything is because you are now upset People are. I hate to say this in this context.
Right.
People are dumb. No, matter of fact, no. Matter of fact, I'll use the technical word. People are ignorant.
No. Oh, stop. Much like my status quo argument about you never have to worry about generalization, you can use dumb, yo. In every situation, in every fucking situation, you are allowed to use dumb.
People are ignorant. I'm gonna use the technical word because you can come out of it. It's something you could possibly learn. Mm-hmm. You just aren't, for whatever reason, you don't have that knowledge, right?
But also learning it doesn't mean you still want to change it. Like, it's some of these motherfuckers absolutely know they have an advantage.
So here's my thing.
Change it.
So here's my thing. People are ignorant. You're going to, the backlash that you're receiving,
right, is
mostly. I ain't gonna say mostly because I haven't really looked into the backlash. I just know that it exists.
Right.
But the backlash you're receiving is likely higher from people who don't know enough about this to know that part of their position is actually not the case. So given that you've now introduced this quote unquote confusing thing, which literally changes nothing.
Right.
You have now invited criticism and backlash to yourself.
Yep.
For no reason.
Yep.
Because nothing actually, if you're going to sacrifice something, actually sacrifice it. Matter of fact, I just shared a fucking memory that I posted on Facebook about this. Right. Have a reason to do something because worst case scenario, if it fails, wouldn't you have wanted it to be worth it?
Right.
And this is not worth it because nothing fucking changed.
And my reasoning for saying it's better off not doing nothing is, and I see this happen all the time. It's happened with affirmative action. It's happened with almost every single thing when it comes to dealing with addressing past wrongs. They give you the absolute bare minimum, but they do that because, as I've said many times on this show, the universe is not just composed of atoms. It's composed of narratives. They present to you this bullshit so that they can say to their narrative, but we did this. We did that. And then when you complain that this was not enough and this did not address your thing, they hit you with the Tyrese. What more do you want from me?
Facts.
And then our kids get into conversations in later years with people who will pull these half-hearted, ham-handed attempts at addressing the wrong and say, we did this, and we did this, and y'all people still not satisfied. That's why I say you're better off not doing a damn thing.
And guess what? So for anybody who's heard me over the past year or so, as it's been a hot topic again, talk about reparations. And anytime someone mentions another group, I say, chill, relax. Let's focus. This is one of the reasons why, because literally I hate that what I'm about to say is going to sound somebody in bad faith can take what I'm about to say and apply it to something else and
whatever.
Yeah. There's a such thing as too inclusive. This is too inclusive. That is exactly what this is. Because again, nothing has to change. Nothing has to change. Intersectionality.
If you love everybody, do you really love anybody? If everybody's really the same. Saying, everybody's really the same.
Because here's the thing. You're talking about a bunch of different groups doing things for a bunch of different groups. Sure. Right?
If everybody's special, nobody's
special. Because
nobody.
If you saw, so where is it? There's a thing, underrepresented groups. So underrepresented groups. So you're saying there are 4 categories, right? There's gender, in which for the purposes of this, because gender fluidity is a completely different conversation. But for the purposes of this conversation, there are 2.
Right. Because this is what they're going to use. This is what they're going to use. Right.
Racial or ethnic group. There are a dozen. There are a dozen. So off break, That's not even. That's not equitable.
And here's the thing, and this is not even getting over all these years when it came to affirmative action.
Mm-hmm.
All I gotta do is wait a minute. I can put a black woman in here, and now I cover one stone covering everything.
But no, it's worse than that. You don't have to cover two. You need one.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you literally, it's in the same vein in the sense that I just need a woman right there. That's it. And that covers everything.
This is so much worse than affirmative action.
A dozen. One covers a dozen.
Yes.
One covers a dozen.
And that's what I'm saying. So that's two of the categories. So that's already unevenly weighed.
Yeah.
Because the first category has two possibilities. Mm-hmm. The second has a dozen plus.
Right.
The third category has, two. And the fourth category, again, two.
Right.
Now, if there would have been an initiative for each category, that might have been better. That might have actually done something. That might have actually affected change.
Right.
But when you group them all together, nobody wins. Nobody wins.
Nobody.
Like I said, I just broke down one scenario that allows the status quo to continue. I didn't go any further. Brokeback Mountain. Let's say, I don't know. I've never really been interested in the movie, so I don't really know any behind the scenes of it. But I do know that it's about two cowboys that are gay, and I don't know if they end up together or not, but whatever the case may be. Jake Gyllenhaal, Heath Ledger. Let's say, I'm just using that example because I know it's a very popular movie that has two gay leads.
Right.
Even though the people aren't gay. See, that's the thing. So those two men are not gay. Let's say that there are no black people involved. Mm-hmm. No minority race or ethnic group involved at all.
Right.
Brokeback Mountain would have been eligible.
Yeah. This is shitty, man. Like, but again, there's a big chunk of me over the last 2 years that has started to realize this incremental bullshit is only meant to keep us invested.
Yeah.
Like it's a carrot on a stick. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And especially when it's hard when they've built up a narrative, because when you hear, even me, when I hear Oscars, Academy Awards, and this, you think credibility, you think authenticity, you think this is an award that shows prestige. And to the point where when you have conversations about movies you like, you can't help but place them on a higher tier when they win one of these. Even though you know that a lot of this is horse shit for real.
Absolutely.
And it's politics. And it's a lot of that shit. I intellectually know that.
We just did it last week with Omari and Chadwick.
Facts. Like, I intellectually know that this is horseshit, but this is the power of a narrative that it can override your intellect. Mm-hmm. And you'll still have a visceral emotional response to something that has happened and been a story that has been presented to you over and over and over and over and over again, to the point where it's literally etched in your brain that this means something. This is a status symbol.
Yeah.
And this is why on this show, we try to attack narratives that we think are toxic and need to have some pushback on it, because once it sets in like concrete, it's hard to dig that shit out. It's hard to dig that shit out.
Almost impossible.
They want to keep you invested because at the end of the day, your engagement pays them. Your engagement pays them, you know?
Yeah. When I saw this, I was like, huh. Marissa said Brokeback Mountain is a bad example. When I first saw this pop up, this story, I was like, I went through a myriad of emotions almost instantly.
Word.
My first, just simply visceral reaction.
Oh, they doing something. They
shit,
doing something.
Right.
Right.
And then I started hearing, because it was a video that I watched, and I started hearing the people that were complaining, and I was like, yo, they have a point. Oh shit, they have a point.
Yeah.
Oh shit, they have a point too.
Right.
And that was before I knew all of the criteria for the different categories. Now that I see the criteria for the different categories, literally nothing has changed.
Nothing changed. And again, my first, this is really my first time hearing it. I try to, like, certain things I pay attention to, certain things I don't. So that's actually good for the show, so I can comment on it in real time, right? So with stuff like this, my go-to is to be negative or cynical about it. I'm not gonna bullshit you. Like, my first thing is like, man, because it's been too long, yo. It's like, like I no longer, but we're gonna get into that in this next story. But certain shit I just no longer buy into anymore. I don't. So surprise me. Surprise me one time.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what? It's a form of self-care, my guy.
It is, yo, that's exactly what it is. Because many times I argue against be a skeptic, not a cynic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time, but when it comes to this place, I'm like Agent Smith in that scene with Morpheus. Like, I don't you giving me no reason to believe in you.
Facts.
No reason.
Facts. So people, I don't know.
What's the solution? Let's talk solutions. What would be a solution?
Well, all right. There are no solutions, right? What I would say is let me rephrase that. There are no simple solutions.
Oh, no. I'm not expecting
there are no simple
There is no solution that everybody will be happy, because there will always be somebody go, but it's SpongeBob voice. It's not nerd,
regardless. But like I said,
fucker.
Like I alluded to earlier, my reform
before you get a chance, before you get into that, when you get a chance, and this is for all of you, go and watch Adam Ruins Everything's episode, Adam Ruins the Suburbs, and you'll understand why I feel the way I feel.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
One of the best ways that I can think to make an actual effective change is if those categories of underrepresented groups each had their own initiative rather than being put together.
Word.
So if there was a 4 category that you had to meet 2 out of the 4 specifically for women,
right,
and 1 specifically for able-bodied or non-able-bodied people,
right,
and specifically a 1 for race, and specifically 1 for the LGBTQ.
Right now, they're trying to do a catch-all, which is not going to catch anything. It's
because
the same shit
of intersectionality, and because I am not just a black.
You're a black male.
I'm a black male. I'm a black heterosexual male. So it keeps going. So I can fit into some groups that other people aren't going to be able to fit into. Facts. But if the focus right now, if the people that are having the biggest problem right now are the black part of me, but you require either a black, a male, a heterosexual,
right,
and only needs to be 2 of those.
Right.
What you're not actually helping.
Right.
You're not
actually address the problem. Right.
This is another thing that I got from Adam Ruins Everything. Actually, this is he talks about security theater.
Right.
This is diversity theater.
Facts.
That is all that this is.
Facts.
This is something written down that they can say, well, we made sure that you have to. No, you really didn't.
What more do you want from me? This is the Therese factor, yo.
I don't know if that would work, but that is the closest thing in my mind right now that makes me think would have any actual tangible result.
Right.
Is they have to be separate.
I have
separate end.
But see, the reason why, like you said, there is no simple solution, and that definitely would not be simple. That would be like a huge undertaking.
Oh, yeah, that would take,
and then trying to monitor that and all of that. So I do have a solution. I just don't know if it's the best one for everybody involved.
Right.
An asteroid. We start over. Listen.
Okay, sure. I mean, I wouldn't use an asteroid. It's a little messy. I would probably go with like there's this thing going cold.
Yo, you're so stupid right now.
Oh, I would probably go with like Cove SARS 3. Instead of 2. Like I would make a new strain.
Maybe we need to go from there. Maybe we need to come to a certain realization. I mean, I know this is ugly. This is not something people want to talk about, but I think some of these things need to be put out there. They always refer to this place as the grand experiment.
Refresh.
Did it fail? Is it an overtaking? Like
probably failed a while ago.
Because of the way it started. I think this is the main issue. Because of the way it started. Hey yo, Marissa is ass, yo. Specifically for women of color, not you, Dolezal and Krug.
Because that's my point. That's my point. I only use me because it's me. But if I am a black woman who is in the LGBTQ plus community, and happen to have mental health issues, I'm bipolar.
Right.
So I have 5 things that I just listed that are me.
Right.
But you only require 3 of those things.
Right.
So that can leave out the most important thing that I feel is lacking.
Right.
You're not actually doing anything.
Greg says Oscars would blow up the first time we had a Rachel Dolezal. Yo, listen, blow up, nigga. We talking implode. The first time some actress gets up there or actor and says that they're really black, they present as that, and we find out that they're not, and they won something, got into something because
it would be an issue. It would be an issue, as it should be.
I am willing to put on the table that because of the way this experiment started, it's like in any other experiment. The process matters. The method matters. If anywhere along that line of this experiment, you have corrupted the process, the outcome and the result is not valid.
Yeah, you got to contain it.
Because of the way this shit started, that advantaged one group mostly over everyone.
Yeah.
And it took centuries and they still haven't addressed it fully.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what this place would have been had humans been different 400 years ago? Had humans really been on some, you know what? We tired of these dictators and all these other countries. Let's come together and find a place. Doesn't matter what color you are. Let's find a place and we start from the beginning, trying to build this up.
What bothers me about that, not in a way that I feel sorry for them, because fuck them, but in a way that it's something so simple sometimes that could have changed everything.
Yeah. There are things that could have, there are
social pressure.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that that's the reason some of this continued.
Yeah.
Because we know there were abolitionists. Yeah. We know that there were people that actually cared about human rights. Yeah. We know that they existed.
We know that,
but
John
there are
Brown.
some of them.
John Brown.
But I'm not even going that far.
Brown. No, I'm going.
But that's the extreme.
His name.
That's the extreme example.
No, he's not extreme. He's not extreme. There was a time of war. You were literally enslaving.
No,
extreme.
I don't. That's not what I mean when I say extreme.
Not extreme.
No.
John Brown.
For lack of a better term, that's the black and white example. That's funny, but no. What I mean is, I'm not talking about the ones that we know about, though.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about the ones that were remarkable for actually achieving something.
Because they weren't even.
I'm talking about the ones that were like, well, this is what I believe in, but they gonna kill me if or this is what I believe in, but I might lose my money if I. I'm talking about those people.
Yes,
and
absolutely,
sure.
Absolutely.
The negative quality that I would assign to them is a certain level of weakness. Sure. But I'm not talking about someone who was wishy-washy. I'm talking about somebody that actually believed it.
Right.
But they used self-preservation and it reigned.
Yeah.
It reigned supreme.
Yeah, it reigned supreme. And all of it, I think the number of those people we'll never know.
Of course not.
But this is why, like I say, the narrative matters. Whatever they can get the vast majority of the society, including the ones in power, to believe in, they'll act on that belief. Mm-hmm. And anyone that goes against that, especially listen, when you've been doing something the same way for 100 years, it is hard as fuck to get people to see where this is just not the way things are supposed to be.
Yeah, why would we change this
when you can convince the people that are actually being violated that this is just the way things are? Imagine the people that are benefiting from this shit. This shit is difficult as fuck. I recognize it as such, but that does not mean it should curb our criticism or critique of it.
No, not at all. Not at all. And that's why I started by saying I'm not saying this to empathize or feel bad for them at all. Fuck them, not them specifically, but in general, fuck them, because at the end of the day, they were a part of the problem. Technically,
fuck them as a group, crew, and label. I don't listen,
facts.
Because at the end of when we start talking about lives, because you hear a lot of talk of that over the last few years, and this is why I find
Blue
it so
Lives
funny.
Matter. The fuck is a blue?
There's no such thing as who.
You talking about Avatar?
Yeah, right. Smurfs.
Yeah, I mean,
when we hear that, right? It's laughable and devoid of historical context, because when have Black lives ever mattered? Right. Ever? Name for me the period of time. So if you say to me, and I'm talking in practice, not a moral stance, I'm talking about in practice, right? So if you say to me that, why are you just saying that now? Where the fuck was you at? Where was your great-great-grandfather at on that topic?
Facts.
Hasn't always. So again, I don't know. I don't know that this can be fixed. I think it's one of these things of this is still an alpha build, and it's buggy as fuck, but it's also inherently, it has features that's not implemented. So it's things that's not working. And
there are a lot of people that are very inarticulate as far as expressing these things. Now, again, this is a very similar situation to what I just expressed. Fuck the people who are not trying to understand, right? I don't care about them.
Right.
But you're not going to convince me that it's not possible to change your mind about something. No.
Listen, I absolutely believe minds can be changed, but that doesn't mean people aren't going to make a cost-benefit analysis. And even though they know you're right, this benefits them to do this. And I think a lot of that is happening right now.
Without question.
A lot of that's happening right now. Like
without question.
They know.
And the thing, but that's why I'm always, a lot of people, when I was in that, I got kicked out of that group. That big group.
Yeah, it was just a matter of time.
It was a matter of time. Yeah, I didn't do anything to get kicked out. The funny thing is, what I did to get kicked out was vanilla compared to the shit that I had.
The reason why it was vanilla.
You said it was cumulative.
It was cumulative. They've been waiting to do this.
Body punches.
You sir, you sir have been hitting them in the body so long that their arms came down. And right before you was about to go for that knockout punch to that jaw, the ref said, "Nope, ding."
They pulled the plug.
Get him.
Get out of here.
Get him what they call the fuck out of here. And they got you up out of there. Why? Because you were a dark stain on the drawers of that goddamn group. They wanted you up out of there.
I was the glitch in the Matrix.
You was the cat that came back.
I low-key feel a little important. Like,
well, Loki is
that's
important.
A big ass group.
Loki is important. He's
shut up. Shut up. That's almost 2 million people in that group. For me to cause the amount of
no,
they
caught you in the sweep, sir. I guarantee it was you and maybe a couple others.
Because I know one of the administrators.
Oh damn, they've been wanting to get you up out of it. Oh, that administrator, yeah. See, he was a mole. You out of there.
He's stupid. But anyway, one of the reasons I was so hard on that group in particular, that group in general, and certain people in it in particular, is because willful ignorance is willful ignorance.
Yeah.
If it is actually willful ignorance, there's nothing you can do about it. Right?
No.
That's 100%. There's nothing you can. Right. There's nothing you can do. My argument is simply come with your best argument, regardless. I'm not talking about to them.
Right.
I'm talking about in general. Come with your best argument, because there are some people that you feel like are being willfully ignorant, but you just don't possess the ability to articulate it to them. Right. So we need to understand that there's a difference between policy, mindset, and physical actions.
Right.
Those are not the same thing. They can overlap. They can overlap, and they can happen on their own. The whole Oscar thing, that the people that were saying you're doing too much, the black people that were saying you're doing too much, is a mindset issue, not a policy issue.
Right.
You're trying to enact policies where the most beneficial potentially policy that I could think of is the one that I said, and that would not be simple to implement at all.
Facts. It wouldn't be at all.
So this isn't something you can just whip up in a couple days and throw it out there and say, this is what we're doing for diversity. No, it's not how that works. Like, yeah, you did do that, but you saw what happened when you did that.
Right.
You're not, you a couple things you got to do. You have to disabuse yourself of the notion that you will please everybody.
Right.
It's impossible. It's just never going to happen.
Right.
But then you need to discern what you're actually dealing with. Is this an actual policy issue? Because if it's not, and you enact policies, you're not helping.
Nope. I mean, we've actually seen real time examples of that. Just because they signed the civil rights bill, doesn't mean that the discrimination stopped.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It just found new holes to crawl in to do it different ways.
Facts.
So it like what you're saying is 100% correct. Like if you're trying to apply policy to things that the root of it is not in policy. The root of it is in how people see each other. And so even though you do that, those same people have not changed the way they see the people they don't like. So they're going to still, their behavior is still going to do that. But Malcolm X once said, "There's no way you can legislate love," and that
fact.
I fully agree.
But that's where I quote another bald man. That's where I quote you. I don't need your love. I don't need you to like me.
Well, that's true.
Fear.
Fear works. Fear works. Fear works. Like fear. What I do to you if you don't.
Right. Man. If there are exceptions to every rule. If the policy enacted sets a precedent for something that they fear,
right.
Then sure, you might be able to solve that issue outwardly.
Right. I don't know if we have the tools, man. Like,
nah.
I think a lot of the things that people celebrate about this place are some of the exact same things that keep change from happening.
Mm-hmm.
When they talk the whole individualism thing, and don't get me wrong, individualism has its place, but so does collectivism. And when they place one so far over the other, shit goes haywire.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's been happening here. And I often wonder, do we even have the tools to change a lot of this stuff? Because listen, I am not a handyman myself, right? But I can imagine there's a lot of things people can do without the proper tool, but they can do more with the proper tools. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know that we have the tools to fix some of this shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I mounted my TV with a mallet instead of a hammer.
And it was a crab.
It took
mallet.
me longer. No, that would never have worked. But it took longer.
Right.
Because I didn't have the right tools. So
I've screwed in screws with coins.
With a coin, with a knife.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes. It takes longer. And if that longer that it takes ends up being lifetimes, it's effectively the same thing as it never happening.
This is one of my issues with a lot. I think people, like when people say to me, well, we'll get this to change in time. I say to them, it's been 400 years. So what you're proposing is that we wait another set amount of years when we could do this right now.
There are certain things that could absolutely be done imminently, not necessarily immediately, but it could be started and implemented.
Yeah, like we're not saying
that you see actual change.
We're not saying have to be today. We're not saying today.
Right.
We saying you can't look at a people that had gone through that type of shit. And mind you, when I tell you, whole generations have been lost with that shit still happening, right? And I feel like when you don't have a sense of urgency about it, you minimize the lives that was already had gone through, lived their entire lifespans dealing with that bullshit. You minimize their experience when you ask people to wait yet another 2-3 generations for certain shit to change. And it's like, really? Is that what you think is going to happen? Because, but again, it's at the end of the day, it's fucked up to say, but it's about power. It's about what power you have to force people to do what they really should be doing or feel like they should do without that. Yeah, you shouldn't need to, but that's
you shouldn't need to, but that's the
reality. Like, the power do you exert to make that shit happen? So,
and once you figure it out, you have to find out how to use it the best way that you can.
Right.
All right. So these motherfuckers. Welcome to Trump's America, where NFL players taking a moment of silence for racial equality get booed.
No. Hold up. No. I disagree with Jay. This is not just Trump's America. This is America.
No, wait. This is what happened here is, full disclosure, a little behind the scenes for you guys, because we haven't done that as much as we usually do.
Nah, we don't.
A little behind the scenes. When I put the docket together, I saw this story. I found it on a site, and the site that I went to, it had a video of it, and I went to play the video, and it didn't play. So instead of linking that specific article, I put the topic on the docket to find an article to match later.
Gotcha.
What I did with this is I rarely ever read articles from this site because I hate the way that they editorialize.
You have said that.
So I realized this morning that I didn't have a link for this particular topic, and this was the first link that popped up.
Right.
So
the reason why I react to that the way I do is because the idea that once he's gone, all of this goes. It's not true, folks. And y'all disabuse yourself of that notion that once he goes, this other shit goes. No.
Does nobody know what a callus is?
I don't have calluses.
You absolutely do. You absolutely do. Maybe not physical ones.
Shut up.
But when you are in a situation, a callus is essentially a hypothetical approximation of a habit. When you do something or something is allowed for so long,
Yeah.
Even when the inciting incident does not exist anymore,
Facts.
you still do that thing.
Yeah.
Because that is the new normal. That is
Right.
how that works. So no, simply Trump leaving office is not going to end
changing anything.
these things. That's not how that works. Reagan leaving office didn't anyway.
Right.
About a year and a half ago, I was at a crossroads. As one of the countless black folks who wanted nothing to do with the NFL after its blatant mistreatment of Colin Kaepernick, I began to realize that it was entirely unrealistic for my boycott, then 2 seasons in, to continue indefinitely. Being a rabid sports fan, I knew sooner or later that I would relent. So the question then became, under what circumstances would I be willing to resume watching the NFL? In February 2019, Cap and his former teammate, Eric Reed, settled their collusion case against the NFL. That was the exact moment I reconciled my feelings about the league, begrudgingly, and after discussing the matter with a few of my homeboys, I officially lifted my NFL boycott. But by the time football returned that fall, my excitement for a sport that I had obsessed over my entire life was still very much gone. I still harbored tremendous resentment towards the league as a whole and NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and his cadre of bigoted team owners specifically. Then last night, during the season opener between Kansas City Chiefs and Houston Texans, those old wounds reopened all over again when this happened. So for those that don't know, basically at the beginning of the game, before the game starts and everything, not during an anthem, just in its own space, the players and I believe coaches, I'm not sure 100% if it's coaches involved, but definitely the players of both teams basically stood in the middle of the field, arms locked, for a moment and show of solidarity and unity.
Right.
A simple gesture. A simple gesture that don't misunderstand what I'm about to say.
Right.
A useless platitude.
Yeah. This is not even radical.
Right.
Like,
there's nothing radical about it.
It's not even radical.
It is simply, hey man, this is a sign. This is what we should be doing. This is what we would like to see. That type thing. There's no force involved. There's no disrespecting. There's no
nigga. This
way
is
to misconstrue this as disrespect.
My nigga, this is Mr. Rogers at the pool with his black postman with their feet in the water. That's what this is.
That's exactly what this is. It's a simple image of people that are different getting along. It's simply that. And what was the soundtrack to that?
What was the soundtrack to that, SPJ?
Boos from the... Oh, and the reason I went into that whole knowing what you're talking about thing is because I saw a post about this on Facebook. And in quite a few of them, I saw our people saying in the comments, well, yeah, of course they were booing. What do you expect from people in Kansas? This is not in fucking Kansas. What is wrong with y'all? Did none of you retain anything from geography? From U.S. studies.
The very thing that you're questioning right now is the very reason why this shit can't be fixed. The very shit. I just want. I'm planting that flag right there. So to readdress the very reason the shit can't be fixed is the shit.
And you know, right, this is not the most extreme example.
No,
because technically, I can understand why people would assume that Kansas City is in Kansas, but it's not. It's not. It's Kansas City, Missouri. I mean, that's the least of the troubling part of this story. But I'm just saying, seeing that on top of me already being triggered from knowing that the boos happened,
right?
It's like, This is some of the reason why we lose. This is some of the reason. It might be a small part,
but it's still there.
It's still some of in
the Marvel Avengers game. Yes, I'm using that as a reference because I fucks with this game.
Absolutely.
Every so often, you find a comic book cover. The comic book cover gives you stat boost, but it's only like 0.5%. But it stacks up after a point of time. That's what this is.
That's exactly what this is.
That's not the major reason.
No, not the major reason.
It's one of those.
It's a contributing factor.
It's one of those comic books. It's like point.
It's a pre-existing condition, if you will. Knowing what you're talking about when you're trying to have discussions is paramount.
Yeah, it is.
For two reasons. One, someone can trick you.
Right.
Two, you give them an excuse not to listen to you.
Right.
Again, we're not including the willfully ignorant because there's nothing you can do about them. We're not including them. But anyway, so yeah, that happened. Which had me feeling like this. And here's some tweeters tweetling about it.
No, y'all, is that in public domain?
No, I highly doubt it.
Damn it.
Rockin' Robin is.
Rockin' Robin? Yo, we can totally clip right when you about to start reading the tweets.
Rockin' Robin is in public domain. Because I actually was about to sample it. Anyway, one tweet: the Chiefs and Texans lock arms in a moment of unity. The fans react by booing. It wasn't the national anthem. It wasn't even a protest.
Nope.
They booed unity. This country is broken. Another person: to the quote-unquote fans in Kansas City who booed while the Chiefs and Texans players joined in the middle of the field in a show of unity against racism and injustice. Fuck you. I couldn't have said it better myself, Dwayne. Prior to the game, there were rumors that the Chiefs and Texans would participate in some sort of joint demonstration. Those rumors would be proven true when, before the national anthem, both teams converged on the field and locked arms for a moment of silence dedicated to the ongoing fight for equality in our country. This wasn't even a protest. It was an act of solidarity. And this is how the fans reacted to it. Yeah. The same people who've probably spent the last few months wearing Black Lives Matter pins around the office, the same folks who told everyone they knew how horrified they were by George Floyd's death at the hands of Minneapolis police officers. See, this is why I hate this article. This site. This is why I hate this site.
Yeah.
That's why I hate the site.
Yeah.
Greg makes a great point. I'm mad at how audible the boo was with like 20 people in the stands. Absolutely.
Right.
Because it wasn't at full capacity and you still clearly heard.
From the heart. That's from the heart. Those are boos from the heart.
Yeah, you meant that shit. You said that shit with your chest. Okay. I was so pissed I turned the TV off. Eventually, I was able to cool down and resume watching the game, but there wasn't much excitement to be had in watching Patrick Mahomes carve up the Texans defense and record his 16th career game with at least 3 passing touchdowns, or witness Clyde Edwards go berserk with 138 rushing yards and a touchdown in his NFL debut. All I could think about was that football was no longer a sanctuary, that no matter how much I fight, run, or hide, white folks will always dismiss my humanity or attempt to steal my joy. Cat tried to warn us. After the game, Texans defensive end J.J. Watt was bewildered by the boos that had tainted and otherwise. I'm glad because what I wanted to know, because I didn't watch the game. What I wanted to know was if any of the stars spoke about it. That's what I wanted to know.
I want us to stop being bewildered.
Well, I mean,
if it's raining outside, you go out there with an umbrella and get wet. Are you bewildered that this is
Here's my thing. He's a corn-fed white boy. So I can imagine him being like, I'm not like this. Why are these people like this? Yeah, I can imagine him. I can imagine that.
But I would also counter that by saying, nigga,
he's also a grown man.
We ain't just get hit. See,
so I'm about to say he's also a grown man.
We ain't just get here. We've been here as long as they have.
Yeah, absolutely. He's also
and this shit been going on for a while.
He should, especially since he's a corn-fed white boy.
Yeah.
He should know that. But anyway, it is what it is.
Maybe, he know his uncle. He know his uncle said something that Thanksgiving.
Well, maybe he. That's funny. Maybe he figured, because there's I don't remember exactly where he's from, but there are certain sections of the South that believe football fixes everything. So maybe he's
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, maybe he's in that
is a
range.
fact. That is a fact.
So what he says, the moment of unity I personally thought was good. I mean, the booing during that moment was unfortunate. I don't fully understand that. There was no flag involved. There was nothing involved other than two teams coming together to show unity. His insistence that he didn't understand demonstrates the difference between empathy and sympathy. And that's exactly what I was saying. As well as the fact that Watt's association with Black plight is merely a costume. In being a 31-year-old white man, Watt is entirely capable of understanding why he was booed for participating in the pregame demonstration. He's just not required to, because his complexion provides protection and camouflage. That onus falls on players like Mahomes, who don't get to pick and choose whether they fully understand or not. The burden is our birthright. We're not going to let playing football distract us from what we're doing and making change in this. Wow, that is a bar.
Yeah, it is a bar.
We are not going to let playing football, because the prevailing argument is, why do we got to put politics in it? We don't need that distraction.
Nigga, the moment they allowed the anthem,
to be the distraction, right?
The moment they allowed the anthem to be played,
no. Be accurate. Me. Not the moment they allowed. The moment they accepted money.
Yeah, they accepted money for the
anthem to be played.
So y'all can miss me with all of that. Y'all can miss me with all that shit.
And the argument is always, football is supposed to be a distraction from real life. So when the star quarterback of this team, who the last NFL, Super Bowl MVP, the year before NFL MVP, says we're not going to let playing football distract us from what we're doing and making change in this world. Yeah. That is exactly what I wanted to hear him say.
Yeah,
you don't get like. That was your role. That was what you were supposed to do. You did what you were supposed to do.
Also, maybe it's time. It's probably time for us to redefine what real life is. It's time to talk about that for a second. Life insists upon itself. It intrudes in every aspect of what the fuck you do. There is no separation. Dead people don't play football.
Nah.
Life intrudes itself in every aspect of every activity we fucking do.
Every single.
So when you say this is distract us from real life, I gotta tell you, football is real life too.
That's a fact.
It's real life too. And therein lies my issue. You see, this is why I don't believe you. When you say, I grew up with that. I grew up watching and hearing the platitudes and the myth crafting, and as a kid bought into a lot of it.
Yeah.
No, because we people, we together. I grew up, even though I saw clear examples of that not being the case, which caused me to not feel at home here like some other people do, right? The older I got, the more examples of this shit I seen, the more people who I looked at and thought, well, surely you're not like the people I saw on Roots. Because for those of you that are too young to understand this, when Roots first came out, I was in middle school. We watched that shit. And of course, person like me watches TV. Surely these Massa Reynolds is not like these folks that I'm watching on these sitcoms. The older I got, the more I started to realize there wasn't really that big of a gap between attitudes that a Massa Reynolds would have and that a lot of these people have about people like me, right? I see when you watch that booing, that sentiment, the booing was being applauded by a bunch of people that was not there at the game.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's right. Fuck that shit. What they do? It was people cussing at the screen when they did that. So this is not them kneeling at the national anthem. This is not them throwing the black fist up. This is none of this. Is clearly just men
simply locking arms,
going, yo, we about to play this game, but we just gonna let you know, yo, like these my folks too. These my folks too. And they booed them.
They booed the fuck out of
This is why I don't believe you. I don't believe you anymore. Yeah, sure, you could convince 9-year-old Landon. 10-year-old. I don't believe you anymore. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I just don't.
It's so the worst part about this for me isn't this. It's not the booing because
hey yo, Marissa's ass. She said, I'm gonna be real. I thought Unity Boo was gonna be something entirely different.
Oh goodness. So for another behind the scenes tidbit, there's only a certain limited amount of space that I can put these topics in, and I have to come up with creative ways to.
I'm laughing at the cotton thing right there. I thought you was for a second about to talk about sharecroppers and
Fruit of the Looms, my guy.
I thought you were talking about Eli Whitney and the cotton gin.
No, Fruit of the Loom, my guy, Fruit of the Loom. So my biggest issue with this isn't the booing, because as you said, and contrary to the lived experience of JJ Watt,
right?
I'm not surprised. Like, I'm not surprised. It's I struggle to think of the exact word I'm looking for, because pity. I honestly feel pity for these people that would insert whatever narrative they felt like inserting into this show of unity between football players.
You don't know? That was SJW stuff.
Clearly. But my biggest issue is one of my Facebook friends. He posted something to the effect of, I don't know who you are. I don't even know who you are. Sorry. He posted something to the effect of, and he tagged one of his friends that I don't know. He's like, yo, your takes, like, you gotta chill with these takes on BLM. Like, you are wilding right now. Like, the fuck are you doing?
Wow.
So he comments something to the effect of, I'm just saying, like, maybe basketball and football isn't the place for some of these protests, because clearly most of the country doesn't want that. The fuck is wrong with you?
Hold, stop. He said, I'm trying to understand what he said. He said,
matter of fact, let me go on while I try to find the exact quote.
So you're saying that he said that the reason they shouldn't be done is because the majority of the country wasn't with that. That's what he said.
Certain. Let me not misquote him. Let me not misquote him.
I'm trying to figure out if that's what he said, because if that's what he said.
Oh, no, this is what he said. Okay. So this is what my Facebook friend said. And mind you, he's somebody who on Facebook, he does devil's advocate shit, but not like to the extreme. Like, he does devil's advocate shit simply to get the other side of the argument. And whenever he chimes in with his actual opinion, he pretty much lines up with how I feel on most things. So this is what he said. Chill with the BLM takes, bro. And he tags the dude, you being illogical at the moment. Now, I'm not going to read any of the actual takes, but the quote that I'm referring to, he says, it's all love on this side, bro. I don't mean any hate towards anyone, but I got my own viewpoint on these matters. And I don't think the football field or basketball court is the place for political stunts, and neither does most of the country.
So an appeal of popularity
emoji, basically. Especially since the very motherfuckers we are fighting against is what is representative of most of the country.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, right? How that works. It's kind of funny. Listen. I gotta say. Remember earlier when you said that we talked about how that 0.5% of the reason why we can't win with this shit? Well, that is a larger percentage right there.
Absolutely.
The idea that we shouldn't, if you apply that to almost any gains, no matter how marginal people of color and black people have gotten in this country, then none of that shit would have happened. Because the majority of people, the very year before Martin Luther King died, the majority of Americans viewed him unfavorably. If your only reason for not doing something, for not standing up for something that you believe in, is because the majority of people not rocking with it, I would argue that you don't really believe in it. A very influential and respected man, military man, Captain Steve Rogers once said, "No, you move. No, you move."
Wait. All right, so two things. I need to make a correction. First of all, he's not black. My bad. His name's DeMarcus.
How'd that happen?
Listen, the funny thing is that's how I found out he's not black, because somebody was like, I was about to call him all kinds of coons until I realized DeMarcus was white.
How is his name DeMarcus and he's not black?
No, listen. I was about to call him all kinds of coons until I realized DeMarcus was white. Even his parents love black culture.
And that's what he's rebelling against.
So now that adds much greater context to what I'm about to say, because another one of his takes were, there's no need for a black national anthem when we already have an American one.
You know what killed me about dumbass shit like that? How many black soldiers fought and died for freedoms they didn't enjoy back in their country, the country of their birth? So when you say there was no reason for a black anthem, there absolutely was for some people. Some people felt like that shit don't represent us. It don't cover us.
Well, no. Not just, see, again, you be in your fifis and you be spitting some facts, but not giving the people the facts, because everybody don't know. Not just not representative of us, literally a racist song.
Yeah, it's a racist song. That third stanza that they did not include, that they took the fuck out, was going at
literally
was going
a racist song.
Yeah, yo, that shit is racist.
Yeah, just so I also would like to recant my idea of not airing this motherfucker out. I thought he was black, but now no, but having a black national anthem is not necessary when the national anthem is sufficient. How can the NFL preach unity and have a black national anthem? That's not unity.
This is this is part of that whole they want to redefine what racism is so that it twists and turn them into a victim. You are not a victim, sir. Shit didn't happen to you. The shit is not happening to you.
Oh, no, hold on. Not according to him. There are many cultures historically oppressed. Every single race has been oppressed at some time. Jacob Blake sexually assaulted a woman and returned to her home to then be shot while he resisted arrest. He is on the front page of their website. He is on the NFL helmets. What about his victim? Does the black anthem sing about the fact that blacks kill more blacks than any other race kills blacks?
Does it talk about the fact?
Attack on unity, this is because absurd. The national anthem stands for all races and should unify us because America does not see color, and America was allowed. Wait, and America has allowed for our colors of people, for all colors of people to rise to wealth thanks to capitalism, especially considering how people live in a lot of other countries. A poor person in America is rich in Haiti.
Yo, I definitely heard all this dumb shit before.
This is one post. This is one comment. All of these are in one comment. I definitely do give a damn about the national anthem. I love how we sing it before events. It's really cool and unifying. And I have family members in the armed forces.
So what?
I apologize that your feelings are hurt. A new national anthem that is set apart for new national anthem.
New
national anthem.
That's
a new
new
national anthem that is set apart for just one group or color is simply not going to bring anyone together. I definitely do care about nation's national anthem, our nation's national anthem. Because America has set the world free from very dastardly things throughout history. And if it wasn't for America, the world would be a much worse place.
I will not allow you to release that canister of methane on this show. Listen.
Listen. Here's the thing. This post has been edited since the first time I saw it.
So he added a whole bunch of horse shit.
No. My Facebook friend didn't include screenshots at first. I guess he was trying to not like put them out. Right. But when he bucked back, he was like, fuck it.
Right, I'm putting you out there. Right.
These are screenshots that I'm reading.
Oh.
They weren't there at first.
How old is this? Because I got to say to you, if you this is what I mean by some people should not really comment on any of this. If you think that the Black National Anthem is new,
you said a new anthem about one color. What the fuck is going on?
If you think that you should
how old is he?
Is
my question.
Is he fetus? Is he the fetus that managed to talk? Like what the fuck? Like yo, if you think that that's new, you should not be commenting on anything that has to do with anything social.
There's no indication of how old he is. God damn it! There's no indication of how old he is. But god damn, he fit them all in one place. He fit them all in one comment. That was one. Those were screenshots. It was multiple screenshots, but it was one comment.
Right.
He managed to fit every single "I'm not racist" platitude in one. It's almost like
he got it from a website and just copy and paste.
Right? Yo, he did black on black crime. He did distraction. He did this isn't the place for that.
I don't understand history because I think this is new.
Yo, he did all of them in one. Oh my God, what is going? Wow.
But do you see this? This is what I mean. Like, all right, so there is and
of course he's disappeared from the post.
Of course,
because people came. Yeah,
they came for him. They came for him. Here's there is a certain bubble of delusion because again, the American myth crafting machine is powerful and effective, but the people that are more predisposed to want to believe it, unfortunately, are the people that the majority of them are in power and have control over entertainment, education, politics, industries, you name it, right? They are predisposed to want to believe it because it suits this idea that they have. Anything that goes outside that bubble of delusion, when they hear you and me say, yo, shit ain't right here. This shit ain't right for people like us. This shit ain't right. This flies in the face of everything, not only that they've been taught, but that they want to believe. It's the equipment. See, I don't have the luxury. You and I don't have the luxury. I don't have the luxury to stubbornly hold on to Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. I
don't have the luxury of doing that. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
They have the luxury of stubbornly holding on to that story. To that whole framing right there. What really scares me is when I see those of us that are still stubbornly holding on to that shit when we don't have the same experience here. Just as a group, let's say you yourself have never experienced it. Nigga, you went to school and you learned history. Even the limited amount of history they teach you in school shows you we don't have the same experience over here.
Clearly. Yeah.
So for you to stubbornly hold on to this stuff like this is a reality and this is real is fucking laughable. And again, It's why when his parents decided to name him DeMarcus.
I'm just so confused. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, I apologize because I assumed.
Yeah,
listen, I ain't even gonna hold you. 1,000% accountability over here, my guy. I assumed and I ran with it. Absolutely ran with it. Sam, what I'm saying, the whole time you was reading this comment, I was thinking about that 3-6 Mafia sipping on scissor intro. Somebody should have replied with that on this comment. That's funny. That's hilarious. Listen. Again, I apologize for my error in this because instead of me starting off that little part about with me being mad, we could have just started with the roasting session.
Yo, listen, I got one thing to say to you. White privilege bars. That's something you got to deal with.
Listen, yo managed to fit them into one comment, though. I'm like,
he probably didn't have a period.
You know what? I'm not even mad. That's impressive.
He probably didn't even have a period in between that.
Yo, I didn't even check. I didn't even check. To be honest, I didn't even check. I'm not even mad. That's actually impressive. How you managed to, wow.
White man bars. Something you got to deal with.
That's incredible. Yo, I am flabbergasted.
Yeah, you're flabbergasted. I am appalled and dismayed at the whole.
Well, you can't be both. You be appalled, I'll be dismayed.
Those are white privilege bars, yo. Like something you got to deal with. No matter how much of that BLM locking arms and unity shit happening in football you try to do, don't equal up to that real shit.
I don't understand. Yo, and I'm going to sound like a big hypocrite right here, right? And I'm fine with it. It is what I am. Judge your mother. I would love if people exercise their right to not talk about shit they have no clue about.
Me too,
it's one thing.
It would be dope
if you know something about it and you engaging in the conversation.
And you might be wrong about a couple of details, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Right.
Yo said a new national anthem for only one color is not what is the move.
This is the equivalent. This is the equivalent of saying
you're so wrong.
This is the equivalent of when I hear people say, "Why you need to have Black History Month?"
Yo, I need to know the exact year. Continue. I'm sleuthing.
This is the equivalent of saying, "See, that's why y'all the real racists. Why y'all gotta have Black History Month?" That shows someone that is completely ignorant of history and listen,
oblivious.
I'm not even. This is the other thing we need to get straight. I'm not talking about the history that happened 100, 200, 300 years ago. I am 51.
Yeah.
Much of this shit happened just maybe under a decade before I was born. We ain't even talking about back then during the day when Christopher Columbus sailed. We ain't even talking about that. We're talking about fairly recent history, right?
So I just needed to get this exact date.
Hey, yo, Sam said Geekz Gotti gave him the opportunity to make people believe him live.
That's funny. That is absolutely hilarious, my guy.
Nigga time.
Yo, I needed to get the exact date because I knew you done fucked up, right? I just wanted to know how badly he fucked.
Yeah, how bad? Yeah.
So by approximately 101 years.
Oh, jeez.
1919 is when Lift Every Voice and Sing was dubbed the national Black anthem. Yeah, so
factual history bars. That's something he got to deal with. That's something he got to deal with.
1919. So 101 years off.
101 years. And you say this.
So neither you or your parents were born That's how long ago you're off for something new.
Yo,
now listen,
it feels
to someone like Kronos or Zeus or
Odin or Bull or me
or Tomb.
Yeah, like
Tomb.
Yeah.
That 100 years is kind of new.
That's not even
yeah, sure. But to DeMarcus, I'm sorry. Look. We usually protect the innocent, but once I found out he was white,
that's it. You saying that crazy shit?
Yo, because here's the thing: if this was a black guy saying these things, I could accept that maybe he was just misguided about some of it, and part of that being either PTSD, post-traumatic slave disorder, or Stockholm.
Yeah, Stockholm and colonialism. That's all it is.
Yeah. Like facts. I can accept that while still being mad at it.
Yeah,
but that's not even a black person. So you're deciding to talk about these black issues and being loud and wrong.
Yeah.
Oh no. You don't have space here, sir.
That shit's crazy. It's absolutely
hilarity ensued.
Yeah, I bet it did. And again, guys like him weren't at the game, but they were looking at the screen, booing, talking shit, all of that.
He clearly felt the way.
Yeah.
Yo, it's the entitlement.
But this is why I don't believe. I don't.
Yeah,
believe like when I see people get on those diatribes, right, and they start going into that the American myth shit. I know they don't really believe any of it, and I'm gonna tell you why. Every time there's a chance for them to practice what they were saying, they do what he did. Everything he said there, if that was true, he would have had zero problem with them people exercising their right to have that form of expression.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he felt like he need to attack that and malign that, while at the same time using the very myth that he says was what makes America great, right? They don't really believe that shit, man. They only pull that shit out to shut your black ass up. Put the shit out like, yo, that is a canned response. All of those canned responses have one purpose: to put your black ass in your place, to gaslight you to not only your experience, but the experience your mama had, the experience her father and mother had, the experience their father and mother had. Trust and believe the stories my grandfather told me are not the stories his grandfather told him.
No.
We have a complete different experience of what it's like to be in this country. Yeah. And for all of these motherfuckers that look like us, that want to play stupid, act dumb, and act like that's not the case, I don't pity you. I abhor you. Because basically what you're doing is minimalizing the experiences of your own family.
Yeah, you're not helping.
You're not helping.
You're doing the opposite.
If I came on here and told some of you guys some of the stuff my grandfather told, my grandfather, who had 8 kids, that he took care of all of them and bust his ass working to make sure that they had food, a place to stay, and clothes on their fucking back. I tell you how many times people have told him he was worthy of being lynched. How many times he's been disrespected. And the type of work he had to do, because that was all that was available for someone like him. As a janitor most of his fucking life. So you want to know why there's no home ownership that was passed on to me and mine and another. It's because of the shit that was happening back then prevented him have access to all of the fruits on that tree that this man is on this post trying to water and act like it was available for everybody to pluck that fruit.
Yeah. That's exactly what's going on here.
I don't fucking believe you. So you can come with the red, white, and blue pom-poms, do the cartwheels, have all the goddamn fireworks happening and do all that shit you want. But I don't know who you think you're fooling. You're not fooling me. You don't really believe in that, because you know what? Somebody that actually believes that was like, they have a right to do what they did. There's nothing wrong with what they did right there. You really believed in all that shit. That's what your response would have been.
Yeah.
So nah, I don't believe you. So you're not, like I said before, everything you create, they weaponize against you. They want you to keep you engaged just enough to keep their pockets full, their engagement on like lit. Like, they want that. That's why they're not gonna make any big sweeping ass changes, because they only change just enough to keep you engaged, to keep you here, to keep you saying, like a family member said to me years ago, but we can't just give up. Aren't we entitled to something? I ain't entitled to shit on somebody else's stolen land.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, would it be nice? Absolutely.
No, would be nicer.
Yeah.
No, would be nicer
leaving
on my own land and the shit that I'm entitled to there. Yes. But I can't expect people that stole something, a government that stole something from somebody else, at the same time when they were stealing literally generations of life and wealth from us, to make this sudden sweeping. That shit ain't happening. It's just not happening. Like I said, I'm looking at this like this is an alpha. This is an alpha build. I'm going to fight for quality of life improvements, but I don't have this expectation because I don't believe you anymore. I don't believe that you believe the stuff that you say. I don't believe it. It's like what you said earlier about that you refuse to accept that people can't be convinced. I agree with you. Those people are convinced. They know we ain't wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They made
that's my exact point.
They made a cost-benefit analysis that it doesn't matter if you're right. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't matter. That's why they don't want to have their petition. They've been petitioning for years to have the conversation about reparations to even be discussed.
Right.
In front of Congress. They won't even, they don't want that conversation because they know the facts is on the side of the people that they really don't want to have but so much. If you get this, you're gonna scratch, claw, shit on your own to get this.
Right.
I don't believe you.
I'm just leaving. I don't.
Fuck out. I'm not. We did that. We did that. So, like I said, when my shit's ready, adios amigos. I'm saying, fuck out of here. Like, because I don't believe you. Like, those of you that still believe, feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems.
Okay.
Staying here ain't one. If you still believe, cool. Do what you do. I ain't gonna. I'm look. Do what you do. I don't believe them no more. They lie too fucking much. I don't believe it. And for all of you out there, that are not part of our community, but understand exactly what I'm saying. This ain't directed to you. This ain't directed to you.
To quote a great TV show who caricaturized a great man. I've seen what's around the corner. I've seen what's over the horizon, and I promise you, you niggas
have nothing to celebrate.
And no, I won't get there with you. I'm going to Canada.
No, we got to
change that.
Yeah, I'm going to Belize.
Yeah, listen.
Out of here.
Listen,
fuck out of here.
I
can't. I'm too old for this shit. On my Danny Glover Lethal Weapon. I'm too old for this shit.
Given how upset I've upset some of these damn stories have made me, we're gonna skip the cotton pickers.
Yeah. Let's get them out of there.
Just TLDR. There's a football team, high school football team, somewhere in this godforsaken country named the Cotton Pickers. And that's all that we're going to say.
That's all we're going to talk about.
So this last story. Aunt Viv number 1?
No, excuse me, Aunt Viv.
Fresh Prince shocker. Whatever, nigga. Janet Hubert and Will Smith reunite for candid conversation about infamous feud. The ultimate guest just RSVP'd to HBO Max's Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion special. Janet Hubert, whose behind-the-scenes issues with Will Smith led to her early departure as the original Aunt Viv, is sitting down with Smith on camera for the first time in 27 years. Smith on Thursday shared 2 behind-the-scenes pictures from the highly anticipated special, including an emotional shot of him sitting down with Hubert. He also shared the shot of the other cast members. That part's not important to the story. The reunion is expected to debut sometime around Thanksgiving. Check out Smith's group's photo. Again, not important. Smith and Hubert's tumultuous personal and professional relationship has been well documented over the years.
Yes.
The actress even discussed it in her 2009 book, Perfection is Not a Sitcom Mom. To say that Fresh Prince fans were not expecting Hubert to appear in this reunion is an understatement.
Yeah.
So, there were other things. All right, so my position.
This is the feel-good moment of the year.
Well, my position on this entire feud has been a very sheepish one. It's been maybe sheepish is a bit strong on myself, but I've always held the idea as a rule, and rules have exceptions, as a rule that if everybody else is crazy, it's you. If everybody else is crazy, it's you. It's you. Everybody, not the generalization that we make when we say people are trash. Not generally. No, if everybody else is crazy, it's you. It's you. Because it's the chances of you actually being a genius, slim to none.
Yeah. Except for
there are not many,
unless you're Galileo, Copernicus,
right? There's a short list.
Fuck.
There's a short list.
Everybody
else is fairly.
What do you mean the Earth revolves around the sun? Are you insane?
No, heliocentric. Damn it! What do you? Okay, fine. So I've always maintained that like she tripping. Always. It's always been my idea. Not to say that I didn't, like her portrayal of the character or anything like that. It's just that just one of my personal philosophies is
you were also very young and malleable when the change took place. Some of us were old and crusty and was like, nah, what's this? And again, mind you, things is different now. We get all the behind the scenes scoops about this, that, and other. We ain't getting none of that shit back then, and we didn't care. We cared about the show. Like, no, we don't. What the fuck? Now, that's not to say that the show didn't continue to be successful. It absolutely did, because there was enough people that still, that wasn't a deal breaker. You know what I'm saying? I want
to see something. Continue talking.
Yeah, that wasn't a deal breaker. The show still went on to do the numbers it was going to do and all this other stuff like that. But for those, there was a lot of us that was like, damn, they took another darkie off. Damn, we like Aunt Viv. Damn. Now, there was a question of how they get, what was their daughter name?
Hillary.
How'd you get Hillary from that situation right there? That was a whole different thing. But still, a lot of us liked Aunt Viv. When I started hearing about the shit behind the scenes and what was going on, that shit still, I acknowledged it, but it didn't matter. At the time, I'm like, I don't care. We wanted Aunt Viv. We wanted that Aunt Viv. That's what we wanted.
Yo, again. Greg, stupid. Don't say they did her like Judy on Family Matters. Ooh, that's funny. That's called what is it? Randy? Is it Randy Cunningham? No, that the little white boy in that show that went upstairs and never came back.
It's
a trope.
It is a trope.
He's the name of the trope.
Yeah, I cannot remember. I know what you're talking about, though. Man. I know what you're talking about.
God damn it. Now it's gonna kill me. But whatever. But yes. That is the name of that trope.
Right.
So let me just say this. There was apparently, it was this episode's average rating.
Mm-hmm.
There was basically no change in
I said it still went on to do what it was going to do, like, because there was people that didn't like the change that kept watching. Still kept watching. I still kept watching. Yeah, like, facts. I wasn't. Listen, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. We wasn't in a position back then to be just throwing away black shows. Like that ain't happening. You watching this? Like,
the highest rated up. Oh, okay, no, that's season. How many seasons? It was 7 seasons. 6
Fresh
seasons.
Prince.
6 seasons. So the highest, 2 of the top 5 rated episodes are in the 5th and 6th seasons. That's interesting.
The what seasons? 5th and 6th?
5th and 6th. Yeah. That's interesting.
I
don't know why. Here's the thing. Well, I have the benefit of not caring about that type of stuff when I was actively watching the show.
Mm-hmm.
So I can explain why.
Mm-hmm.
The show took a turn from melodramatic to comedic.
But it was kind of had the comedic shit, like from
yes,
the start,
but what happened was instead of it being a very special TV series with comedic moments, it turned into a comedic TV series with very special episodes.
But they literally had a laugh audience there. Like,
absolutely. It was a sitcom the whole time.
It was a situation
but
comedy.
It's just the style of it. Like almost every episode in those early seasons ended on a serious note. Almost every episode ended with some lesson that Will was learning or some lesson about white people being this, or when Carton realizes that some white people are like horrible human beings. Like that was the early stuff. At the end, it was relatively more linear.
Yeah, because I think the main reason for that too is a lot of sitcoms was like that. Like literally, they would have
absolutely
a topic that they wanted to wrap up with a bow at the end.
Family Matters did that a lot.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like Family Matters did that a lot. You know what I'm saying? I think that was just a trope of sitcoms back then. You know what I'm saying?
I think that is a part of the reason why the popularity might have went up a little bit. Not just because I'm not to say that people prefer one style or the other.
I was about to say that. Are you saying that people don't want to see that unity?
No. I'm saying you stupid. No, I'm saying because the show kept changing. Yeah. It wasn't just static the entire 6-season run. Yeah, I think that might be one of the keys to it.
There was character progression each one.
Yeah, because I'm fairly certain. Matter of fact, let me do this because
not each one, because I don't think the Butler actually had
no, not really.
But the rest of them did.
He got more sardonic as the show went on. He was more expressive about it.
But you know what? I can that too makes sense, because when Will first got there, he just met him. But then as he's been there for years, you know,
off on him a little bit.
It's a difference, right? So when me and SBJ first met, you just getting to know each other. So you don't. We weren't ass to each other. We are ass now. We are ass now. So like
to the extent that we
that's what happened there.
A small sample size to go along with my theory. A TV show that is infinitely compared against Martin.
Yeah,
Martin largely stayed with the same formula for the entire run of the show. Its ratings steadily declined.
Right.
Not a lot,
right?
But there's a
you know part
growth.
of the reason I think for that too is, and this is just me spitballing the reason, but the progression only really occurred for a couple of characters. Like most of them was still doing the same thing. And secondly, when that situation took place where Tisha Campbell left the show, the energy was different.
Absolutely,
the energy was different.
100%. So he responded to me, DeMarcus.
Did he?
So I have to, because I said, how dumb can one person be? And he said it's easy to call names and not easy to state facts. So I'm going to hit him with the lift every voice and sing facts.
Yeah, time. You want facts?
Here's
facts.
And sing was deemed
by you
the Negro national anthem. National anthem, a whopping 101 years ago.
Yeah. Guess what was happening 101 years ago in this country?
So that is just one.
Wow, everything you said is historically inaccurate and utterly absurd, and you should never be commenting. As a fact, you should never type again. Like somebody should take your fingers.
I wanted to hit him with the Billy Madison
speech, the Bob Barker shit.
But I don't remember.
Bob Barker. It was the other
at the game show.
Yeah, with the guy
not game show. The what was it? It was some event for.
Yeah, he said that
school or some shit.
You have that we are all the dumber.
It was the most incoherent, rambling thing I've ever heard. Yeah. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having heard it. Yeah. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. If I remembered the whole thing verbatim, I promise you, I would type that out to him. That is how petty I am. But I'm just going to drop that fact to him and let it be. Because, to his credit, I don't know if it's credit to his character or credit to him realizing where the fuck he is. He didn't come on some sideways shit.
Yo, you hear what you see what Sam posted.
If Aunt Viv is wrong, I'll be right. She wanted that bridge. She still got people, including myself, calling her
the only Aunt Viv.
I can't even think of a light-skinned Aunt Viv.
And did hit you with the Don DeMarco.
Listen. We're allowed to have different opinions on this. I legitimately don't care. Like, I wasn't watching the show for her anyway. Like, it'd be one thing.
We know she was watching for Colton, but that's besides the point.
Actually, Hillary.
Colton was a funny dude, yo.
No, Colton was hilarious.
Alfonso Ribeiro was hilarious. Hilarious.
You know what's funny? Side note before I get back to this, hopefully I remember where I was.
Word.
The two people that I love when people question their blackness. Alfonso Ribeiro and Wayne Brady. Because they will check the fuck out of you.
First of all, well, okay, within reason, because one time Alfonso Ribeiro was in a club and Ice-T.
Come on, man.
I'm putting it out there. Ice-T was there.
On, man.
He went over there, and Ice-T.
Don't tell me.
Ice-T questioning his shit, and he ain't checked no Ice-T.
Don't tell. All right, hold on. I need more information because Ice-T is, listen,
it's a little different.
Ice-T.
And this back in the day. And this back in the day, too. Like,
I'm talking more so white people. Not.
Well, I know this. Wayne Brady ain't playing with you. Wayne Brady is not playing with you. He's not playing
Wayne
with
Brady
you.
said, I'm not going to get the quote right, but somebody was questioning his blackness. He was
Bill Maher. Bill Maher.
It was Bill. That's
Maher.
exactly the one I was talking about.
Bill
he was
Maher.
like, okay, so I'll just, whenever I see you in person, I'll show you that black person that you want to see.
Right. Yo, Wayne ain't playing with you. I don't know. I think you think, and I'm gonna say something else about Wayne. Let me tell you something else about Wayne. Wayne got bars. I said it.
Yo, low key.
I said it.
Low key. Because here's the thing.
Son of Luffy.
I hate that we shut up. I hate when we go on such
Rants.
intriguing tangents. Here's the thing. That just brings me to another tangent. I've always maintained, even when I wasn't into this particular medium, I've always maintained that people that can do Broadway are literally aliens walking among us. They are the most talented of people that we will ever see on a wide scale. It's just like that. And Wayne Brady has those categories.
Now you do this. So what do you think now?
I still think
you're a performer right now.
I still think they're on another level.
Okay.
I still think because I had this conversation with my homegirl because she's aware of the things that I do. And we were having some real life conversations, and I'm like, "Yo, you're not going to just be good at everything." Right. She does it as a hobby, but she also gets paid for it. Makeup artist,
right?
So I told him like, "Yo, the first time you put makeup on your face, it looked terrible, but instead of giving up, you continue to work at it, and now you're at the point where people pay you to do this."
Right.
I'm like, I might be good at several things, but I didn't just be good at several things. That's not what the fuck happened. I had to learn. I had to put my head down and forget about every other thing that I like to do.
I am
and
get to learn that in his own way, Wayne Brady did something similar.
Like I'm sure.
Like his singing voice, of course, that's
part of that is natural. You just
that's what it is. But some
training shit, maybe, but most of that is just natural.
But some of that other shit, like, well, I can speak for myself only is I have zero natural ability to do any goddamn thing, regardless of what people tell you, regardless of what the myth might be, what they might put in my obituary and all that. I have zero natural to everything that I know how to do now. I had to scratch and bleed and figure that shit out.
Yeah,
to learn how to do that shit. Everything.
I think I wonder about that for myself sometimes. I think part of I hate to put it in this light because some people
no, your talent could be your attitude to learn stuff.
But I think some of it is also because I'm only aware of one. My mental issues, my ADHD.
That could be it.
The very definition of how I react to my ADHD sets it up for me to be able to focus on certain things and dive in maybe deeper than if I didn't have this condition.
Right.
So that whole hyper focus, a lot of people hear ADHD and they think attention deficit. Sure, that is what it was called because even the terminology has changed now. Right. I don't even know what the most up-to-date vernacular is, but sure, that's what it was called. But it's not simply not being able to focus. There are a myriad of things that are tied into that little concoction. And one of them is hyper focus,
right,
where you just zero in on this one thing and literally nothing else matters. And so, yeah, like I think that is a part of me becoming as proficient as I am in some of the things that I do, 1,000%.
Right.
I'm fairly certain that that's a huge part of it.
Oh yeah. I don't dispute that 100%. I'm just telling you that in itself is a superpower because I know people who have yet to find anything they wanted to sink that amount of focus into to even get good at. So I can't even tell you why. I don't know why I kept rapping, to be honest.
Right.
I really can't narrow down. Once it was something I was doing, this is what I do. I do that. You know what I'm saying? And that feeling lasted for about 38 years. You know what I'm saying? That's about 38 years.
Only a little time.
Only a little bit of time.
Only a little bit of time.
Then I start branching off into like doing other forms of creativity. But each one of these things actually branched off from the rap.
Yeah.
Like the reason I even jumped on YouTube is because I was trying to find a way to somehow get my music noticed by somebody. So maybe if I start this YouTube, that's the only reason why in 2007 I jumped on. I want to see, so is this, how can I do this? What, you know, and I was looking for inroads, and those inroads trying to find rap and what to do with that led to photography, videography, and other forms of creativity, Photoshop, and all this other, those things expanded. But really, I gotta take that back, because what I was doing before I was rapping, as a kid, I wrote little fiction, write little fiction. When I was like 10, 8, write little dumb stories and shit. So actually, that's the origin for real. Right. It wasn't until the music element of my cousin Robert showing me how to play by ear on the grand piano in my grandmother's house that I got interested in that part of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So the writing stuff actually started with me writing like fiction.
Facts. It's crazy how these things evolve. But that's what, well, the two reasons I put them two in the same boat is because I've seen other examples of Alfonso doing it, and because they're both multi-talented African American men.
Alfonso can act,
sing, dance.
Like, see, some of y'all might be too young to remember him
Silver
on
Spoons?
them commercials. No. Before Silver Spoons.
Word.
On them commercials with the Michael Jackson, doing the Michael Jackson thing with the jacket on, killing it.
I've seen one or two of those.
Yo, when that commercial, first of all, I didn't
even watching certain episodes of Fresh Prince. Not when he's doing the Carlton dance, when he's actually dancing.
Listen, I'm telling you, when that commercial first came out, was it Coca-Cola? Pepsi. When that Pepsi commercial first came out, I like, look, this, he got it. Now I had a homeboy that could do all of that stuff too, right? Pelix back then could do all of Michael Jackson stuff. But seeing this kid on there doing that, and then the whole moonwalk, I'm like, yo, he was killing it. That's the first time I saw Alfonso Ribeiro.
Yeah,
that's the first time I saw him. That was before the Silver. That's why when he was on Silver Spoons, like, oh, that's the kid that do the whole,
thanks. But yeah, like I really had zero attachment to her character. She was probably my least favorite character on the show. So when she was replaced, it didn't make me happy, but it didn't make me mad either. Like I was completely.
And again, how old was you when that happened?
Fucking no.
Like
when did she get replaced?
When you young, you're malleable to changes. A lot more malleable than when you get old. It's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. When you get old, the weather changes, and you're like, what the fuck
is this? It was just sunny.
This has been happening every year of your life.
Listen, I'm telling you now. The first time I went down, the second time I went down Florida, when we pulled up to Nickelodeon Hotel, it was raining cats and motherfucking dogs, and I was pissed. Because in my mind, the mind of a crusty old dude, it was sunny the last time I was here. Nigga, that was last year. I was last year.
In a different month.
right. In a whole different month. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I was
all right,
so
to
mad.
answer your question, I didn't watch Fresh Prince live.
You only saw the... Wow.
So when I was made aware of the change, I was probably 12 or so.
That's interesting.
See, it happened when I was like 5, but when I was made aware of it, I was probably like 12 or so.
Yo, that's interesting. That's interesting. That does explain why. Like, that shit was over.
There were certain situations where, like, you know, she had her episodes that was like, oh, this is cool. Like, it was never a dislike for her.
Yeah.
Like, when she had her episodes, I was like, all right, she killed that. Like that the one where she went to dancing school to prove that she was still like, yo, she killed that.
She killed
and then she fell out at the end. Like, yo, that was hilarious. Like, oh, yes, she killed that. But
and again, yo, it's hard for you to get mad over events that took place when you was 5 and you just found out about them at 12. Like,
like I'm not one of those people. Like,
it's not like, but it's just it's look.
I'm happy that they're doing this though.
Yeah, that picture's beautiful.
Absolutely
I think that's a beautiful picture of her.
Well, here's my thing. Somehow, Will Smith always comes out of every situation looking like the best person in the world. Because in August, she was talking on her Instagram.
I saw
about they don't have the guts to invite me to that reunion, and I would like to end this, but Lord knows nobody over there is going to. He could have simply said, "Continue being bitter."
Right.
He could have continued to. He could have simply said that, but no. We ended up here. So I'm really interested to see the sit down because I would like to see, given current events that may have happened around August, that's a bar.
That is a bar.
With Will Smith. I wonder if he's going to be quote unquote soft in the interview.
That's a good question.
I mean, not interview, discussion.
I know what you're saying. Like whether or not he's going to go. I do got to say this. So there are things about her that she may have been going through in that industry that absolutely had a big influence on how she reacted to the situation. Mind you, she ain't one of them fair-skinned.
Right.
So they was not just handing out roles.
Yeah.
To dark-skinned women, like, hey, here you go. You want to do this? You want to do? They wasn't really doing that. And I think maybe I think things that was happening outside to her career expectations she thought she may have had, and seeing the reality of it for somebody like her absolutely colored her responses to a lot of things that maybe she wouldn't have been like that. What else was she in?
Well, see, here's my thing. I'm not sure. I have questions about the whole thing. From the only information that I have to go on is what I've seen.
Right.
So from what I've seen, and these are all from separate sources.
Right.
From what I've seen, she was making about $250 a year. And that's 1,000, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
And she had a relatively prominent role. Like she wasn't the star of the show.
Right.
This doesn't feel like, to me, from the outside looking in and not knowing if those figures are true.
Right.
But if those figures are true, that doesn't feel to me like no, I still need to fight scenario.
Right.
Like, sure, PTSD is the thing.
Right.
But that feels like, yeah, I made it. That's what, to me, that's what that sounds like.
Right.
$250 a year and in this wildly popular show.
Right.
And if the quote that she said about I've been in this career for such and such years, and this snot-nosed brat comes along and gets the show. If that's real,
that's a crazy bar. But I would remind people, see, context, shit don't happen in a vacuum. Take good times.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
Take good times. Like there was issues going on there with the guy to play JJ, right? There was issues going on there with him and John Amos, and that's the role. John Amos and that's the role were seasoned actors and actresses. Yeah. Seasoned.
But JJ was the breakout.
JJ was not a seasoned actor. He was a comedian. That was it. That was it.
Yeah.
He was the breakout. And gotta say, there was some issues. Is why one of the reasons John Amos left. One of the reasons why he left the show. So these stories, Black Hollywood, especially back then, was very small. Very small. People knew about these stories and about these little things, and maybe she just projected what was happening in other situations onto this. That don't make her right, but there's a lot of stuff about this we still don't know. You know,
absolutely, without question. So I'm looking at her filmography. It looks like mostly TV.
What's that? That's mostly TV?
Yeah, for Janet.
And it was small roles, weren't they?
Yeah, 21 Jump Street, one episode. A Man Called Hawk, one episode. Tales from the Crypt, one episode. Reasonable Doubts, one episode. Yeah. Then Fresh Prince.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest thing. And I mean,
according to this,
What did she do after that, though? Is what I want to know.
Oh, relatively a lot compared to what she did before. That's the thing. According to this, and again, maybe this filmography is wrong too. I don't fucking know. According to this, she had only been in the industry for 2 years.
Right.
When Fresh Prince started.
Okay. All right. Bet.
1988 is her first credit on this list.
Right.
And that's 21 Jump Street. And then 1990 is when Fresh Prince started.
I'd be interested in knowing, because when you first get your credit does not mean
I wonder
that's
if
the
she
first
was
time
like
you was in the industry. Like, that first credit does not necessarily mean that's the first time you picked up an acting thing and went to an audition and did none of that. That's just the first time somebody called
she was
your
in Broadway.
ass.
She was in Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
She was the original Tantamount in the first Broadway run of Cats. So hold on.
The first
hold on.
First one?
I think I see what all right.
Hold up. The first one.
Listen. I kind of don't want to continue this conversation because this new information makes me feel even worse about her stance. Because it seems to be I'm a real thespian.
Oh, that's 100% what it was. Let me show you what was going on around that time. All right. There were rappers getting roles in movies, and that was a real issue at that time for a lot of black actors that went to school for it, all this other shit, and they go, yo, it took me all this to get, he can't even act. And I remember Sam Jackson beefing about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that was the thing, and she's part of that generation. That's I don't think what you said was wrong. I think that could have been a big part of it. Like, and you just come in and did. I think that was a big part of it. I do think she was a little off because that platform, that show was based around his music, the concept in that music.
Yeah.
So that's a little different than Hollywood already having a script, already having a movie, and they say, we're gonna snatch a rapper.
Him. Yeah, Quincy Jones was like, vehicle. No, we about to grab him, and
this
we
was
about
his
to
vehicle.
Do this. Yeah, like
this was his vehicle.
Yeah, parents just don't understand. That's that's the point.
This was his vehicle.
That is the point. Goes to the world is nothing but trouble. They played it in that episode.
Yeah.
But yes, this is what this is. Yes, this is it's a little calculated effort.
So it's a little different for you. Your energy can't be the same in this case for this because this is. I mean, look, I'm just keeping it 100. Like this was his vehicle.
Yeah.
This wasn't like, oh, we doing a movie and then somebody in casting goes, let's get a rapper. Like, no, that's not what this is.
Yeah, this was created around him.
Yeah, this is created around him. So it's a little different.
Listen, I still, regardless of this new information, I still am happy that this thing is potentially over.
Well, you know the reason I'm happy about it, and it's mostly personal. I have had to come to grips with certain things this year about how you can't let that petty shit.
Yeah, fact.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's a part of what she said.
Right.
She was like, I don't want to die angry.
Right.
She said, this can go on forever, but it won't on my end. Yeah, I don't want to die angry. I want to sit down and talk to them. And then she threw in the jabs, which is the issue that I have, that you're continuing to do this bitter thing and then complain about Black women being called angry.
Yeah, but sometimes when Black women are angry, they have a right to be. That's
one reason
I do not like, like, yo.
I absolutely hate it.
Yeah, I hate it. There's a reason to be angry.
Absolutely. It's just like, in I don't know, it's like people ignore. No, it's not like people absolutely ignore that it's a valid reason the vast majority of the time.
It's like when if somebody says or does something to you that you feel like is over the top, over the line, right? And you punch them in their motherfucking face, and then a fight ensues, and then it breaks up, and they go, well, you started because you like. They're only concerned about the physical act that took place and not what provoked you to get to that point of hitting this motherfucking face. Now, if you are somebody with a past reputation in history of flying off the handle and resorting to that, that's a different topic. But if you're somebody that's usually pretty even tempered and whatever, and that's not what your go-to is in the response to stuff, I think we need to discuss what provoked you, set you off to do that shit.
Women get saddled with that history
all the time, yo. Like they literally get told, "You're so angry," without being asked, "Why are you angry?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it's bullshit. And I think it's certain things in 2020 I ain't rocking with. I'm not rocking with that. Certain people that I used to give the benefit of the doubt, I don't get a benefit of the doubt to anymore. And there's certain people that I didn't give the benefit of the doubt to before, I get the benefit of the doubt to now more readily because I understand now. I see certain shit and I see how motherfuckers are the narrative around people like is different. We talk about this before when if a man goes out there and has sex with a whole bunch of women and he's champion, he's a stud, he's this. A woman goes out there and expresses her sexuality. All of a sudden, she's a hoe.
There's some hoes in this house.
Yeah,
there's some
and motherfuckers start talking about hoes versus housewives and all this shit, but nobody talks about gigolos versus husbands. Like it's none of that. Like that shit's kind of crazy because the narrative around people is different, and people get treated by according to whatever narrative their group has swirling around them. It's the reason why when you walked over to that fountain. We did our first photo shoot, and then white folks just moved the fuck away without you doing anything because it's a narrative swirling around this dreadhead Negro coming over here.
Absolutely,
you had a camera in your hand.
I intended no bad will,
not a billy club, not a gun, not a blade.
It is a cannon.
I mean, it's a cannon,
and I was shooting.
Yo, you're so dumb right now.
No, I'm just saying.
you're so dumb.
Right, but yeah, man, you're right. You're absolutely right. I just
and sometimes
another thing she said was when you die, there are only two things on your headstone: your name and your date of birth and death. My name's already been ruined. I feel like some of it is misplaced anger.
Could be.
And I don't know. I feel bad about saying.
You shouldn't listen. I will cop to the fact that I have much misplaced anger.
Word.
That doesn't mean the initial thing that got me angry was valid.
Absolutely.
And that set me off was I have and shit. I see that's definitely misplaced. But guess what? It's here to stay.
Yeah.
It's here to
Hopefully
stay.
Hers isn't. Hopefully this conversation did something for her.
I hope so. I really do. Because we don't need to see that.
Because honestly, not to say now, I'm not privy to, nor am I pretending to be privy to any behind the scenes like talk in the industry or any shit like that. But as far as in the public, they don't talk about her.
They don't. They probably they might say shit, but see, here's the thing. In public, when you say it, the perception from the fans is one way. I would argue that it is equally, if not even more damning to say it behind the scenes to producers.
That's my point. Yes. That's exactly my
point.
That's exactly my point. So it's like, on the one hand, they may have contributed to
her not getting the type of work that she may have wanted. Like,
but
doors closing.
On the other hand, just like we said about willful ignorance, how high was her ceiling actually?
True. That's true. Well,
because if there are people who aren't going to do this anyway, giving them a reason is like, oh
yeah. I'm sitting there thinking that.
I have an excuse not to.
I'm sitting there thinking that because if we think about it, we have done whole shows on actors and actresses from our community and our initial perception of their level of success, finding out that it's not even the same because they're not valued the same.
Right.
So
Queen Angela.
You couldn't have
there's no way.
With a feather, not realizing how much they didn't value her in Hollywood.
Right.
And again, that could also contribute to the bitterness because knowing
absolutely.
knowing that you
you're
don't
fighting
have
an uphill battle.
Yeah, and this was the first big thing that you could really, and I'm trying to remember, is this around the time when they made it so that the actors did continue to get residuals from reruns and shit like that? I don't remember if this was around it, because if
I would imagine so. The
Mm-hmm.
only reason I say that, she looks relatively comfortable.
She does.
And there's really nothing else on her filmography unless she pivoted and did something else that made money.
Yeah, maybe started.
Sure, that's possible. Yeah,
something.
that's possible. But I don't really see anything else on her filmography that would have like brought her money. Like money.
I'm about to see something. I'm about to be nosy real fast.
Net worth.
Yep. I went look at. I don't remember her name, so I just put Aunt Viv net worth. All right, so
Janet Hubert.
I'm bad with names anyway. But according to this, 500,000 is her net worth.
I think that's decent considering
not getting
literally the only big thing.
Yeah,
like we can go down the rest of this list.
No, we don't need to do that.
I'm trying to find one.
Ain't nothing there.
And I don't see.
It ain't nothing there that kicked out with that 250,000 was. That shit,
no.
You know what I'm saying? Well, if her net worth is 500,000 now, that's not bad. I know my net worth ain't 500,000. So yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Make my net worth 500,000.
Right. Facts. You know what I mean? So if her net worth 500,000, that ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm
not sitting here. Like I would look like I was sitting in the same place, but I would not be sitting in the same place.
Exactly. Oh, me and my wife talked about this a while ago. I was like, I'm trying to remember the entire context of the conversation, but I know it was something to do with the fact that if Spotify had offered us the amount of money that the amount of money that they offered Joe Budden.
Yeah.
I literally, we'd have been gone and doing the show from Belize. I'd have been no one know because it still had the red and black foam and all that other shit. All of that, like shit.
Yep. Shit. I mean, they would know. The light is different. Even if we were indoors, the light's just different.
For those of you, hold up, that's a bar. Look, for those of you who haven't been to one of these tropical places, the light is different.
The light is different.
I have never.
It's a cheat code. Yo, shit. Even Miami, yo.
Even in Florida,
any place where there are palm trees and they could actually exist there.
Yeah, the light. Listen, I got pictures from the last time we went to Disney and Universal, and the light is barely anything I need to do with a lot of the pictures.
No,
the light down there, especially being a photographer, so you got an eye for that. So like you look for that. I've never seen light like that here. On the sunniest best day here in Maryland, I've never seen like that.
Maybe it's the way that the palm trees are shaped.
It's the angle. It's the angle. It's literally the angle of how the sun hits the equator. That has to be it. And
that makes sense,
dude. Even in videos, if you have a competent enough camera, I watched a video some months ago where this guy and his wife were literally just walking through Cape Carker in Belize. Yo, when they the whole time the way the sun hit that blue sky, that water, the fucking palm trees, it is striking. And they didn't have one of them super expensive ass cameras either. You know what I'm saying? Like it's jarring.
You know what? That's true, because even in Kenya, like not where we were staying, because we were staying in the bush.
Right.
It obviously it looked different, but it wasn't like that magical thing.
Yeah.
But when we went to like Mombasa, there was another beach that I cannot remember the name of for the life of me. It had white sand and green water. Nigga.
You making me want
that view. And I'm mad because I can't, for the life of me, I have no idea what the name of that place is.
Right.
I'm gonna try to find somebody that went there with me and see if they can remember, but because I want to go back there. I absolutely who knows when
the long ride. Yeah. You fucked up. You was born here.
I know, right?
I
should have just stayed there.
Should just
no, that wouldn't have worked. I had a zero way of making any money.
That's true.
Yeah, that wouldn't have worked. I was 10.
That ain't the place that you want to go for that sort of like. You want to go there to make work, to create something. You don't want to go there expecting to
and
get
work for somebody. No,
that's not gonna happen.
No.
Like, there are literally places in Africa where people are making $100 a month.
Yes.
So that's you don't like you if those that have the pioneering spirit that want to go over there and help build, that's what you go over there to help do. I am too old for that shit now, so I'm going to Belize that at least has an infrastructure that's similar, and when they get that up together, like when Akon gets that shit up together, I'm gonna take a trip over there and see what it look like. What he doing? What's this? What you doing over here? You know what I'm saying? Right. I still don't like that dumb shit she said about with Tekashi, but we ain't. This is more important. You know,
facts.
Hey, yo, Marissa, he said, algae.
Oh god. You know the funny thing, the worst part about that statement?
What's that?
I don't know if she's serious or not because people actually
eat algae. People eat algae. Yeah,
and
it might be delicious, yo.
It might be. I would never know.
It might be delicious. You sound like seaweed. You sound like Sam Jackson in Pulp Fiction.
That's exactly where I was going. Yo, that's exactly where I was going. So rat might take like pumpkin pie, but I never know
because I never eat the filthy motherfucker.
That is hilarious. Man. Yo, that's funny. I was just having this conversation with somebody last night about my ridiculous memory when it comes to media.
To the point where other people who aren't in that same frame of mind, they don't even catch half the stuff I'm saying that I've gotten from fucking movies and shit.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But see, that's how I knew we was the same person because
facts.
Literally all my friends do that. All my friends do that shit. All my friends in the middle of a conversation when it's relevant will put a movie line. All my friends do that shit.
Hell yeah. So yeah, in conclusion, good shit for the sit down conversation. I absolutely look forward to seeing it. I'm fairly certain there will be shade thrown from both sides.
Oh yeah.
But I hope that
it ends
overall.
It ends up like productive. And,
That's hopefully
we don't need to see that, man. That's enough of that.
I have zero desire of seeing her
more continue
that shit. Like
that's enough of that.
Hopefully this was cathartic for her.
And closure. A bit of closure.
Yeah, yo. That's really what I want for her.
A bit of closure.
Because it's like, even though from my perspective she looked like the crazy aunt the entire time, I still know that whether it's misguided or not, a lot of it is rooted in real shit. So
yeah, facts.
I don't like to see anybody have that type of disdain for somebody or some group of people for that long. That's a long time.
I know you must pity me, man. Because
you're different. You're a complete different entity when it comes to that.
Eat off of that shit like that.
There's a Venn diagram, and then you're a dot somewhere to the left. Like you aren't in either of the pies.
That shit fuels me. I lied earlier when I said I didn't know why I kept. No, there is actually a certain point that I can a certain like part of that timeline of me doing music is the reason that I continue to do it. And it had absolutely everything to do with disdain, disgust, anger.
Yeah,
it had absolutely everything. Yeah, yo, it absolutely had everything to do where I couldn't do what my lower instincts wanted me to do. So this is all I had to hit back with. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's a bar. That's a bar. Because instead of I gotta tell you, we gotta get off here. I gotta tell you some things that I've been thinking about.
Okay, that's what's up. So we want to thank everybody that took the time out of their Saturday to listen to us rant and rave.
Come rock with
like
us.
Goddamn lunatics.
Oh, absolute lunatics.
And
the
and
tangents had tangents.
The tangents had tangents. Yeah, so like we appreciate that. You guys are one of the big reasons why we continue to do the show.
Thanks.
This show literally fills out my content quota for the week. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's actually helpful. And also it allows us a platform to address certain things that we feel like need to be addressed.
One of my coworkers said that, something to that effect. She was like, man, it was something. It was either the Cardi B and Candace Owens thing, or it was some other Black issue where there's room for potentially some people being miseducated about it. She was like, look, you have to, I'm glad that you talk about these things because y'all actually have a voice.
Right.
And I was like, yo, you're right.
It's important.
You are right.
It's important. And it's not that we're over here setting the world on fire or changing things in a big way, but I still feel like in the time capsule that is life, the other side of the argument needs to be pushed out there. There needs to be pushback. And a lot of times with one of the things we do on the show is push back on shit that we feel like is completely absurd and out of pocket.
Yeah.
And that's why we when we started the show, we originally was saying from day one, your heroes have no power here.
None.
They have no power here. You know what I'm saying?
None.
So with that, for my man SPJ, I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and for the greater multi-world entertainment family, we are out.
Peace.